And welcome back to Flick Fights, everybody, the show where two movies enter and one movie leaves. The Christmas edition this week. We have Elf in the red corner and Santa Claus in the green corner. The Santa Claus, my bad. I didn't pick up on that until I was an adult about why the was important in this movie. But
yeah, God, two movies that I have wonderful memories of as a child and watching as an adult now kind of both veer into horror a little bit.
Yeah, once you start positioning yourself from a if this happened in real life perspective, it's this would straight up be like, you could just change the music in these movies.
Yeah, like fucking Elf becomes like the cable guy and fucking
exactly.
The Santa Claus becomes like a lifetime drama about like abduction and fucking like insanity. It's great. Just remove the Christmas parts that prove this is happening. It's just like, oh God.
Well, and then like you tie in how everyone starts having the shared delusion. You know, if you're a normal person standing there like, I still don't understand why everyone believes in Santa Claus. You change it to a horror and it's like, why is everyone doing this? But yeah, I hadn't seen the Santa Claus in forever, and it was a couple weird little things that triggered some nostalgia watching it, like the snow globe. I was like, I used to be obsessed with that.
And some adult jokes I did not get.
I remembered some of the Tim Allen ones, but yeah, there's definitely quite a few that I definitely didn't pick up on when I was 3-4 years old watching the Santa Claus.
Yeah. Like the weird flirting scene with him and the elf, and it lasts for 2 seconds when he's trying to skin crawl.
Yep.
Like, why?
I definitely made a note about that. I was wildly uncomfortable.
Especially when you know how much Tim Allen apparently hates children. And this is not speculation. He's on film saying, I hate children.
I will say, knowing that and watching this movie again, he does it. Just more of a tribute to how great of an actor he is, because he really seems to love his son in this movie.
Yeah. Just imagine like as soon as like he cuts, he just like pushes the kid's head away like off the couch. Like, all right, where's my trailer?
But if you're new to the show, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Please like the episode, comment, share it. Please like and share on Instagram and TikTok as well. If you're on Spotify, download and rate the show, please. The format of the episodes are we take two movies that are similar in some way, shape, or form. This one obviously being Christmas movies that gathered a large sense of nostalgia in their respective decades. We take them, do a tale of the tape where we go through the vitals. We briefly go through the plot of each movie, and then we take them through 10 rounds and declare a winner. Once again, if you have a Christmas matchup, you have a couple days left that you could comment, and we might do that episode. But if we don't get any
otherwise, but you know, if you got a better one, we're always open for suggestions.
That's right. But without further ado, get into the tale of the tape. We'll start with Elf in our red corner. Elf came out in 2003, had a budget of $33 million. Domestically, it made $176 million for a worldwide total of $226. They both have a runtime of 97 minutes, which is kind of weird. IMDb gave it a 7.1. Critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 85, and the audience gave it a 79. And I did not realize this was directed by Jon Favreau.
And featuring momentarily in one cameo.
He likes to do that.
All right.
I love him, though.
Yes. No, he's great. Chef is like one of my, if I'm depressed movies, I just watch that and make myself feel better.
It's great. Watching him snap out on the critic in that movie is the best. The main cast is Will Ferrell as Buddy, Zooey Deschanel as Jovi, James Caan as Walter Hobbs, Bob Newhart, Mary Steenburgen, and Peter Dinklage. That was a great cameo. Other notable films like Jon Favreau are the Iron Man movies, Chef, The Jungle Book, lots of stuff, Swingers, everything I love.
All right, and then we have in the green corner, the Santa Claus, made in 1994, and goddamn, some of the special effects in this fucking show it. We'll get into that, though. I had a domestic box office of $145.5 million, worldwide of $189.8 million. Again, runtime 97 minutes, IMDb of 6.6, Rotten Tomatoes is 71% for critics and 65% for audience. The director is John Pasquin, and other notable movies are The Santa Claus 2, The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, and Jungle to Jungle. Are you sensing a pattern here?
Motherfucker only directs Tim Allen movies.
It's like Tim Allen's not here. I'm not coming. You show me Tim. It's the only
Tim
tool
always
I know
has
how
the
to work
best
with.
cocaine.
The cast, of course, we have Tim Allen as Scott Calvin, Eric Lloyd as Charlie Calvin, Wendy Crewson as Laura Miller, Judge Reinhold, whose name I only remember because of Arrested Development, as Neil Miller, David Krumholtz? Yeah, David Krumholtz as Bernard, and Elizabeth Michelle as Carol Newman.
Yeah, I completely forgot that David Krumholtz was in this movie. Having watched Harold and Kumar recently, I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
He
Oh no,
always reminded
it's
me of
great.
Rudy when I was a kid, from Hook. Or Rufio, not
Mm-hmm.
Rudy.
Rufio, yeah. Joe Dante, I think that's who that is. But yeah, he's
But
also
yeah, the
Zuko.
character reminded me of Rufio, just like a punk rock elf that's also a
Mm-hmm.
massive stickler for a boss, apparently. But
Yes, and canonically in the Santa Claus 3, I believe, he has given up his immortality so he can hook up with a 95-year-old woman, which is how they explain him aging.
I love a lot of the magic explanations in these movies. More so in Santa Claus, we'll get to it, but yeah, I don't know. It was very creative explanations for magic in these, like the Santa stuff that they explain away. The turbine engine in
Mm-hmm.
Elf, it was fucking hilarious. But without further ado, we're gonna do the gist of Elf first in our red corner. Motherfucker. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember which one's which. I guess I could just
Let's
look at
say
the
slowly
background and
spreading
it's
to you.
red then green. All right. Elf starts with I didn't take time to look up the actor's name, but Papa Elf, Buddy's dad,
Something
narrating a
Newhart, right?
story. Is that right?
Bob Newhart, yes.
Okay, Bob Newhart, yeah. Narrating very lackluster attitude about everything in the North Pole, this guy. Basically talking about how elves love stories. Only 3 jobs available to elves are making shoes,
Yep.
baking cookies in a tree, and you get a brief little cutaway to the Keebler elf is the only one I know of that makes cookies in a tree. His
Yeah,
house burns down.
yeah. It's like it's a little difficult to make cookies in a tree during the dry months. Yeah.
And then the final job for elves is making toys, which you'd think would be like the premier job, but the way they treat it is like this is where everybody that sucks goes. Like
No,
like
kind of. It's
making
like the thing.
shoes was too hard, so we sent them to make shoes.
No. They actually say it's like the show. Like it's like I think the rank is like you're like the shoe elf is the lowest, then baker elf. Then it's like if you're a top elf, like you're on your shit. I mean, they like one elf can make like 200 extra sketches in a day. We find out it's
Right. But I mean, at the very beginning, there's a dude making shoes that somehow or no, when the tree is on fire, he's like, I'm going to go make toys.
yep. Guess you wanted to move up in the world. You saw this as an opportunity.
Yeah, but they said they tried gnomes and trolls doing these jobs as well, and gnomes are just drunks.
Yeah, and trolls weren't toilet trained.
What the fuck was that about? Just a big purple dude
Yeah.
pissing on the floor.
Yeah, and also like what we're talking about, like this whole place like looks like the Rankin Vast or yeah Rankin Bass the like the stop animation like Christmas, like this is very obviously very heavily inspired by like the Island of Misfit Toys and like the dentist elf and shit like that.
Right. Well, I mean, they actually show some of those characters later, which I thought was awesome. But
Yep.
you know what it really made when it showed Will Ferrell on screen with those characters? I really just wanted to see an adult version where they're like all swearing and shit. You know what I mean?
The fuck you going, buddy?
But it shows that he's telling the story of Buddy basically, and you see Santa delivering presents at an orphanage. And a little baby crawls out of a crib and this crawls in Santa's bag, and he accidentally kidnaps a child. Is how we start off Buddy's
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, and he just kind of crawls out and he's like, well, we get back to and, like everyone's celebrating at the North Pole for like their like 5-minute break they get for like completing
Yeah.
Christmas apparently.
Yeah, they're
They're,
like,
like,
great
dancing,
year,
like,
everybody,
"Woo!"
back to it.
Yeah, they're drinking milk. Then it's just like, all right, back to work. Then just put the glasses aside, like, yeah, work.
That's my favorite part
Yeah.
of like Christmas mythology is that elves just love being essentially slaves.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you went forward in Harry Potter too. It's just like we're a subservient
Right.
race and enjoy it. It's just like, all right. I mean, we're not going to question this too hard because I guess we benefit from it, but whatever.
It started making me think of all the racism in D&D with the troll and gnome shit, and then elves. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, we always know elves are always up their asses. It's a character trait.
Right, right. They say his diaper says Little Buddy Diaper, so they just name him Buddy, and not even briefly do they consider just taking him back. They're just like, he lives here now.
Where's now? Yeah,
I think it's
like,
because they'd have to
it's-
kill him if he was an adult, maybe, because he saw the North Pole, but they can't because he's a baby.
Yeah, and then apparently Bob Newhart is, I don't know, he's like never settled down. I don't know if that's code for something, but they're just like, hey, you never had a baby Papa Elf. Here you go, and just fucking give it to him. And he's just like, all right, and just proceeds to raise a child that's like 4 or 5 times his size.
They show, a brief montage of him growing up, basically showing how inconvenient it is for a 6'3" man to live in a world of elves.
I mean,
doesn't
that's
fit
it's just
me.
that's how a world for a 6'3" man is, anyways. I can attest. Like,
Right.
I felt so seen in this movie. I was at that little desk in fucking school and was like, yeah, I remember that. Broke 3 chairs during my high school years.
Well, you would think in a world of people that are master craftsmen, they could have just started making shit for Buddy, like one thing of each. You know
Well,
what I mean?
they're immortal.
Like,
Like, probably they were going to get around to it, but it's just like in their time frame, which is like, yeah, I'll get to that next, next 10 years or so. We'll be fine.
I love the logic. Oh,
Childhood
then we cut to
montage.
Ralphie from the Christmas Story is like the Amazon supervisor, basically, dressing Buddy's performance and making toys. And they kind of make a plot hole here because they're basically like implying that he doesn't have the same abilities as all the other elves because he's a human. And then later in the movie, he's doing superhuman shit
Well,
that
that's the
elves
thing. I
can
think
do.
like he's not he's somewhere in between. He's like not as good as an elf, but he's better than a human. Like he's like whatever magic suffuses the North Pole has obviously gotten to him. Otherwise, he would die of diabetes at age 3. Like we find out.
Right. Yeah.
But
Or at
yeah, no,
least
it's like
be overweight. At the very least, he should
yeah.
have been fat as fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm just assuming like whatever like enchantment the elves have that doesn't let them freeze to death in the fucking North Pole and like work endlessly and not sleep much. He has that too, or he's just been conditioned, and that's why he's also kind of insane. Like he's been living with
Conditioning,
the
I would
Tibetan
get, but
monks
like the
training since he was a
snowball
baby.
scene where he's moving
Yeah,
like 1 billion miles an hour, that was the one where I was like, he has something. Like,
yeah, yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's like in this scene, he's like, I'm a little behind on the quota, boss. He's like, oh, how behind? He's like, how many made? It's like 85. It's like that's 195 off tempo, buddy. So it's like he made 85 etch a sketches by himself in a day. That's fucking insane.
right.
Like
I have
from
no idea what
scratch.
goes into making an etch a sketch, but I've broken one
Yeah.
before, and I've seen the complex parts inside
Yeah,
of an etch a
they're
sketch.
complicated. It's a lot of gears and yeah, and like he's expected to make like 250 like on
Right.
like an average minimum. So it's just like yet again, way better than a human, not as good as an elf. Like I think that's kind of where he is, which is why he excels so much kind of in the human world. He has like an edge on everyone.
The quota also made me think of Amazon. Both of these movies just remind me of poor
Yeah.
Amazon workers. But
Sam's kind of a psychopath in this. Like there's a few points where it's like he doesn't really care if Buddy lives or dies. Okay, cool.
like, buddy, some people just have different talents. He's like, it seems to me like everybody has the same talents.
You're just special, buddy. And it's just like, oh
Right.
no one
And
wants
then
to hear that.
directly after that, he overhears a couple people talking about how he hasn't figured out he's human yet. He passes out from hearing this news. And then they're all telling him basically what happened, that his father's from New York City and he works at the Empire State Building.
Yep.
And
Yeah, your mom died like when she was younger and like never told him about it. So like if you're looking for human roots, this is where you can start basically.
right, gives him some advice for New York that cracked me the
Yeah.
fuck up. Where he says, "Peep show is not a invitation to look at your Christmas presents early. Don't eat the gum on
Yeah,
the street.
don't.
And there are like 30 Ray's pizzas that all claim to be the original, but the real one is on 11." And his last little bit
Yeah.
is, "Your father is on the naughty list."
And it's he fucking full Darth Vader, no. Yeah, and then they literally just like send him out to like the fucking North Pole with like nothing but a snow globe and this advice. Like
Right.
like
Again,
no
adding
food,
to
no water.
he has some kind of superhuman abilities if he can survive the cold like this and then float on an ice cube all the way to New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, like we heard a few times. It's like, I went through the candy cane forest and across the twirly whirly gumdrop sea and then into the Lincoln Tunnel. There's just no, he just goes from fantasy world and he meets like a raccoon, which fucking tries to maul him. As soon as
Also,
he
when
tries
he
to introduce
leaves,
himself.
before he talks to the narwhal and everything, when he talks to Leon,
Oh, yeah, the
snowman from
snowman.
those old animations, that was where I was like, this would be funny if he just, because he's like, I'm not an elf. And he's like, of course you're not. You're 6'3" and you've had a beard since you were 15. And I just wanted one
Yeah.
like motherfucker at the end of that.
Yeah.
But they all say goodbye. You get a shot of Walter Hobbs, his father, after he says he's on the naughty list, telling a nun that they're losing their free book supply. He's an
Yeah.
asshole.
He's a dick. Works at a publishing company.
Right. Somehow arrives in New York, walking through mountains, impeccable navigation skills, tries to hug a raccoon. And then you get a montage of him walking through New York, where he immediately eats the gum on the railings. He walks in
Yeah.
and congratulates the coffee shop on the world's best cup of coffee, which is like
Yes.
the classic scene from this movie. You did it!
He like sprints around in like one of those like rotary doors like to keep the fucking cold out for like way too long.
Yeah, the revolving doors. I've always hated revolving doors. They scare the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just waiting for it to take something away from me permanently.
Well, getting stuck in one briefly a couple times. Not like the door got stuck, but like a person got their shoe stuck in front of me or just stopped for a second. And
Mhm.
the panic that runs through my body immediately is instantaneous every time.
This is my life now. I'm
um,
stuck here forever.
he makes it to the Empire State Building, hits all the buttons on the elevator, says it's like a Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
security's not great. He just gets right up there without any confrontation, like
Right.
straight to the secretary.
And this is
And this
one
is
of
New York
these
in 2003. Like they
one
did,
of the
they'd have
things these
security.
movies do is dress me out. Like once it starts colliding with real life and he's just doing really annoying shit is when I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this. This part isn't funny to me when he's just pushing
Yeah,
elevators and he gets kicked out immediately when he meets his father because he mentions Susan Wells was his mother. They think he's
yeah. They
a
think he's a
caroler or
Christmas
something.
gram at first. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. And it's just like he's like, "Who the fuck put you up to this? Get out!" And yeah, just freaks out and just gets kind of shaken by the whole thing.
And the
And
fact that they
they
kick
say
him
he
out
should
and
go.
continue letting him in, you're right. The security is fucking awful at this
Yeah,
building.
right. Yeah, it's a few places. And then there's like Gibbons is the name of the place, I think, right? Something like that.
But yeah, he eats. She says, "You want to try our passion fruit spray?" And he eats it. As much as I don't like this kind of humor, Will Ferrell's reactions to shit in this movie crack me up
It's
like the
real.
entire time.
Yeah.
He's looking at like a lingerie thing that says for that special someone, and a guy walks in that thinks he's on break from the mall North Pole. And this part is one of the few parts that make me laugh. He pulls him up there. He's like, "What are you doing? Your break ended 20 minutes ago, blah, blah." And then he walks into the store and he's like, "All right, everybody, get ready because tomorrow Santa's coming to town." And he goes,
Mhm.
"Santa!"
And just screams. He's like, "Oh my god, he's coming here!" He's like, "Yeah." Just freaking out like as much as anybody. And I think, is this around the time he meets Zoe Deschanel for the first time?
Yeah, directly after that.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's like
he
the
sees
first
her
time he's ever
dressed
seen
up as
like
an
a pretty,
elf.
yeah, it's like Pretty Human Woman for the first time, and it's like I'm so like like happy to see another human with the affinity for health culture that I do. Just like
Right.
fuck off.
This is also the only movie I've ever seen Zoe Deschanel in where she's not a quirky fucking weirdo the entire time. You know what
Yeah,
I
no, no,
mean?
he's the manic pixie dream girl, and it makes you realize how fucking creepy it is when a dude's doing it.
Yeah. Wow, this movie
Like
would have
he's
been really different if you switched the genders now that I think about it.
right. Oh,
It
dude,
would have
it's
been a
no,
lot
she's
less
quirky and
concerning, honestly.
yeah, yeah, no, no. It's just be like, oh my god, this girl's kind of whimsical and really has like the Christmas spirit, as opposed to a 6 foot tall man. Is like he's gonna murder me at any moment and put my
Right.
head on top of a tree. Yeah, no, yeah, no, 'cause he's the one skipping through town and showing her the beauty that's been all around her this entire time that she didn't realize. Yeah, no, he's the manic pixie. He's a manic elf. So I mean, and it's also the living embodiment of the meme. It's like me and the bad bitch I pulled by being autistic. It's great.
Yeah, he does pull it. And honestly, it raises, if it was flipped around, the guy then in this situation would be questionable at best. The fact that you
Yeah,
are
because he'd
with
be
this
taking
woman who's
advantage of
insane and
someone who
thinks they're from the North Pole.
clearly has like a
Right.
mental issue. Yeah,
Like,
who
him being
you're
right
making it.
aside, he's still mentally 12 years old. Maybe.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. He has no like adult like faculties or any kind of like impulse control or knowledge on how the world works. He's like, for all intents and purposes, a 6'3" child. This is
Right.
like big, essentially.
That's probably
And
why
she's
they
like,
didn't
I'm
do it the other
attracted to
way
you.
around. Because.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm just an innocent little girl. Come with me, innocent little girl. Okay, nope, wrong movie. Nope,
Exactly.
nope, 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 nope.
And then if they had a baby
I'm
at
gonna
the end of the movie, you'd be like, "Oh no!"
show me the meaning of Christmas. Yeah. God, yeah, no. And there's so many things where it's just like flip the genders and it becomes a horror movie. It's wonderful. Well, like Wedding Crashers. You slip that Vince Vaughn like tied to the bed scene. That is
Mhm.
like something out of fucking like Scream.
Yeah, like Misery with porn added. Yep.
Yep,
He spends
exactly.
all
Genders,
night
man.
decking up the shop to prepare for Santa.
Yeah, and
And
like
I was like, did anyone
opening
ever try having him do
thousand.
decoration at the North Pole? Because he's fucking amazing at it.
Yeah, yeah, and also like one thing it's like because they say they're mad at him afterwards. I'm like, yeah, he just opened like I think like 10 grand worth of toys to decorate this
Right.
place.
Yeah, and tearing out shit that's probably not even from their store, like pillows and stuff. He's tearing to make the
Yep.
snow.
Yeah, like someone's gonna go to Bloomingdale's like next and see all these slashed open fucking like mattress. Like the fuck.
God, there's a great angle we could just shoot this all from to make it totally a horror movie. Like the person that comes into Macy's the day afterwards, like, Oh my god! Everything's ransacked except for the North Pole station.
I think it's blood, but it's just like the syrup from his fucking spaghetti or some shit. It's great.
You get a brief glimpse into the shitty family dynamic going on at the Hobbs house.
Yeah,
And then
just classic,
he,
like come here and have dinner with us, Dad. Nope, work, 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 business, business.
yeah, I will say one thing both of these movies did is just completely demonize working fathers.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Especially during the
90s working
holidays
fathers.
when it's like the busy season for many businesses.
Yeah, and also both these men like have things that are directly tied to the Christmas holiday. It's like Sam Allen's
Right,
character sells toys, and this guy sells children's books. So it's like I'm fucking busy
right.
paying the bills so we can have this nice place and all these things.
Everyone's
But I
doing
mean,
very
apparently,
well financially, but demonizing their source of income.
yeah. Well, it was in the '90s when we were more cynical about that, and now it's just evil people rule the world, and we're just like, yeah, maybe those '90s dads weren't so bad.
Right. Jovi is singing in the shower, and Zoe Deschanel has a great voice.
Hmm. So I didn't realize she
And then
has a
yeah,
heterochromia until this. Like I completely forgot. She
I
had
didn't
blue eye and
realize
green
that
eye.
either. She sees he starts singing along to "Baby It's Cold Outside," and she leans out, looks at him, and screams, "Get out!" And he runs into a locker. And this is another one of those moments where just he's all
Uh-huh.
smiling and singing, and then she's like, "Get out!" He's like, "Oh!" He truly didn't
Yeah, it's
realize he
like
was doing anything wrong,
yeah,
which is
no, that's
terrible
the thing. It's
damage.
like every terrible thing he does in this movie is done from a complete place of innocence and naivety. But like if you look at it from an outside perspective, he's a psychopath. Yeah,
Right.
it's
And the fact that he didn't know he couldn't go in when a woman's naked, like skipping to him having a
well,
child. How did
I
you
mean, I
get
guess
there?
it seems like whatever the elf culture is doesn't have a sense of like personal space or boundaries really. So like I don't know because like it doesn't really show us that. Like I guess like they're all just like working all the time, but yeah, he doesn't seem to really have a concept of like nudity or like keeping a personal distance from people and not getting right in people's faces or any kind of social graces whatsoever. When it seems like the elves kind of had them, which is wondering like it's just like did they like just get a baby that was slightly on the spectrum somewhere and like had no concept of it or something? Because it's odd because the adult elves don't act like Buddy does, even though he's an adult there, but I don't know if that's because he's
Some of the
still considered a
workers he's
child
with
in their
do.
eyes.
Not like Papa
Yeah,
Elf or Ralphie, but the workers he's with kind of
yeah,
have the same. Some of them do. Some of them don't.
yeah.
Maybe
Some of
they're
them do.
taking
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
ones that are stuck like that and making them the toy makers.
Well, no, they even talk about that. It's like we have a place for special elves, and they like put them in like toy testing and shit. So it's like I guess maybe that's like that. It's like, like okay, you're a special elf, and you're gonna go do the easier jobs and still be helpful.
The elves don't recognize the autism spectrum, is what I took from
No,
it. She mentions, he's like, "Why were you here so early?" She says her water's been shut off. A boss is suspicious the corporate's there because of all the decorating. I also noticed here his name tag says Wanda. I don't know what that was
yeah,
about. And we
yeah.
get
She's
an
like, why'd
Artie
you come
Lang
in here? It's like,
cameo. We have a
yeah,
cameo
that was
from the
weird.
two people that were in old school in this movie, Artie Lang and Matt Walsh. But he's Santa, and this is a classic scene where he's like, "You're not Santa." And they go back
Yeah.
and forth. He's like, "You sit on a throne of lies." He just
Nice.
starts
Yeah.
beating the shit out of him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he rips his like fucking beard off, and then already like that's it, and just like grabs him like the post from like behind, and just starts trying to beat him to death with it, and breaks the entire like nice setup that he made earlier, and yeah, and Buddy goes right to jail.
Which I didn't see the Santa there, which is kind of fucked up. But yeah, he
Yeah,
gets
I
bailed
mean,
out by Walter, and he takes him immediately to get a DNA test. And this is where we get the John
yeah,
Favreau cameo as the doctor.
and he comes in, it's like it's a boy. He's like, are you what? Are you kidding? He's like, yeah, no, that's your son. It's like fucking how?
He's like, "Just spend some time with him, dude." He's like, he's clearly reverting to a childlike state because he's around his father. He's like, "Yeah, is that your diagnosis?" And then the
It's
wife is like super cool with all of this, which is
oh
the
yeah,
most
no, there's no
unrealistic
like
part of
you.
this movie.
I mean, I guess the only thing is they weren't married 30 years ago, maybe. Like, I guess, like,
But
or
still,
however fucking old Buddy had. Yeah, it's still like, yeah, the son. Oh my, like at worst it'd be a shock. Like,
right.
or at best it'd be like, oh my god, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, it'd be surprised and like trying to process information. She's like, we have a new baby, yay! It's like kind of the vibe that like she's giving. I guess she hasn't seen him yet. So like, which is his new son? She would think of
Right.
like a teenager or something like that. And it's like,
But
no,
even
he's
when
a
she does,
32-year-old
she's
man with
still surprisingly cool with it.
yeah. Well, I guess she does see that like he's really nice to his half brother and stuff like that, and that's kind of why she gets behind him eventually. But yeah, at the beginning, she's just the most kind and accepting person on the planet. She's just like, okay, this is weird, but I'll roll with it. I'll humor him.
I just realized this is
You see,
the second movie that she has played his mother in because of Step Brothers.
the only thing besides that I recognize from her is Last Man on Earth. Besides that, I like really can't place her from much stuff. But
Yeah, she's Brennan's mom in Step Brothers, but very different
I forgot about
characters.
that.
And then you get he even says like you haven't seen him yet. He thinks he's an elf, and then they go in and have dinner, and that's where he hurts my heart, dude. Like it physically hurt my body watching this happen. But he chugs an entire 2 liter, asks for maple syrup for his spaghetti, and that just snowballs throughout the rest of the movie. What he does with
Hey,
spaghetti, and
there's
by the end of it, I'm
nothing
like,
wrong with
good
chugging 2
lord.
liters of Coke.
He says the man that's on his 5th kidney stone.
I'm sure they're unrelated. Oh, they're not. I know they're not. It's actually apparently like caramelized crystal. No, it's the caramel coloring in Coke is apparently what my kidney stones are made out of.
Fantastic. You could just turn that and sell it back to the Coca-Cola company.
I blame my mother because apparently when she was pregnant, the only thing that stopped her nausea was undiluted Coke syrup. So I didn't have a fucking
It
chance.
is what it's for. That is what it was made
Yeah.
for. It didn't have all these things in it back then, but you know. Emily offers to let him stay. Walter's being a giant asshole about it, as he is for most of the movie.
Yeah, just like, how long are you to plan on staying? Like the mom's like, oh, like forever.
And we're about at the halfway point of the movie now. He makes Emily spaghetti and syrup for breakfast, has made a rocking horse out of the entertainment center. And this is, this is about where it starts getting really out of control, where if this was realistic, I wake up to my house torn apart and spaghetti syrup for breakfast, I'd be like, okay, I'm starting to get a little concerned.
We might need like a 72-hour like involuntary hold on this just to see what's going on. Like, we're gonna go see some friends in this nice place. You're gonna sleep over for a few days. Hey.
And he tells Buddy he needs to lose the tights as soon as possible, and then hangs his dong in the kitchen and scares the shit out of Emily.
Yeah, like I said, no concept of nudity whatsoever. It's just odd. So I don't think Papa Elf is like dropping dong like all over the place. He feels like a more refined gentleman. So I don't know.
Oh,
Or
I
maybe
also
he's just on
don't.
a
I don't
constant
like this
sugar
part
high.
where right before that happens, where he's like, "He needs you to get rid of the clothes." He's like, "This is all I've ever worn." He's like, "Hey, you want to make me happy, don't you?" I'm like, that was gross, Walter.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't like
super
that.
fucking manipulative. Yeah.
He starts bugging him on his cell phone while he's at work, and now his spaghetti has evolved to include Pop-Tarts, Snow Caps, M&Ms, chocolate syrup, marshmallows, maple syrup, and I can feel my veins expanding in my body as I'm watching.
Yeah, I saw Babish actually make it once, and he tried to make it good afterwards, and I don't think it was possible.
Oh, yeah. Some of the shit binging with Babesh would
God.
make was like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah, dude, Will Ferrell just like noms on that shit, man, and just like kudos to his acting for that because he could not taste anything. But and also, it's
he threw up
like
during that
prop
scene.
food too. Yeah, it's prop food too. So I know like it's terrible. Like there's a scene.
Well, some of it he must have actually eaten because they had to do multiple takes because he kept puking trying to eat it. But
Yep. No, yeah, there's a few things like that. Like you've seen Anchorman, right?
yes.
You know the milk was a horrible choice. You know why you said that?
No,
Because
because
it
he
was
actually
apparently
did
like
it.
yeah, well, he was drinking. It was the 10th take, and it was like 110 degrees in Los Angeles and sure some shit that day, and the milk was starting to curdle.
That's amazing. Both of these movies have a running subplot of an issue with a children's book. Walter's boss is reaming him about there being missing pages in their Puppy and Pigeon book, and essentially tells him you better have a new book ready to present on Christmas Eve. And he only objects for a moment.
He's like, fine, yeah. And we see too. He's like trying to throw the publisher under the bus. It's like, oh, they fucked up, but like he fucking signed off on this, like
on the blank pages. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care. Who fucking cares? They're kids. Like they don't fucking. It doesn't matter how the pigeon and the puppy got away from the witch. Just fucking print it.
And then again, just once I got this in my head, it kept adding to how this could be horrific. Buddy's waiting outside of Michael's school, like. I could just picture where it shows him sitting across the street, just start playing like horror violin and
yeah, just like scenes of him like walking up behind him, like just looking over his shoulder and he's there.
Right. And then he starts following him. He's like, "Get away from me!" And he keeps following him, and then they pretty immediately start bonding, and they get involved in
Yeah.
a snowball ambush and have a pretty epic snowball fight that just made me
Right.
miss Midwest as a kid because snowball fights were amazing. And I made a note here
Well,
that Nick probably never had one.
I've had a few. They've been rare, but I do have English family members, so we have had snowy Christmases and stuff, and the local hooligans all got together and made
Well,
some
that
little
makes
snow
me
forts,
happy
made a
for
snowball
you.
fight.
I thought about that. And I was like, I wonder if Nick has even experienced this. But in the
Yeah,
Midwest,
like
you
I
get
think
sick
like
of it pretty quickly.
I can count on one hand the amount of times it's happened, but it's been pretty great each time. The last time I did it, I was like drunk 21 up in Big Bear with a bunch of other drunk people, which was like fun.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're more fun as an adult because by the time we're 12 and people start getting really pissed off because they got hit in the face with one that had a rock in it for the fifth time and start fist fighting, that's when snowball fighting is
Yeah,
over.
see, well, we were all slightly drunk, so we didn't feel the fucking bruises until the next day, so it was fun while it was happening.
Michael and Buddy hang out all day, little montage here. He basically
Gets
tells
out a
Buddy,
tree
he's like, we have the best dad ever. He's like, he's a horrible father. I'm like,
yeah.
fuck you, Michael.
I mean, we don't know. He's not a horrible father. He's just an absent father. Like he's just like not beating the shit out of Michael or anything, or
Right.
fucking yelling at him. He's just not there. Like it's which I understand to an angsty teenager. But he's the worst. It's like there's so many echelons of shittier
Yeah.
dads, and you have like you're mid tier at like absolute worst, man.
He takes
It's
him
like he's
to
missing a couple
the
of check boxes.
mall to go see Jovi, and she's like, "Did you get your job back?" And he's like, "No, I just got a restraining order." And I'm like, "This is bad. This is all should be giant red flags." And
Yeah,
he tells her that
yeah,
when he sees her, she makes his tongue swell up. And I'm like, "Did
yeah.
he mean something else? Was that?"
I guess it makes it hard to talk, is what you're trying to say. But yeah, like Denver Brother's like, yeah, just go talk to her and like ask her out to food, like real food. And she says, yes, it's the code. He's like, do you want to go out for food with me? It's like, it's the code. And just like winks. She's like, I just had lunch. She's like, no. He's like, but I'm free on Thursday. And then he's like, and yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, there is no fucking universe where this happens unless she
No.
has some very specific fetishes that just
I mean,
happen
she's
to
got
align with what this
problems
is.
in her life. This much I know. She has problems with her bills, but you would think the last thing a woman like that in New York City would want is a gigantic man child that says his tongue swells up when he talks to her.
Yeah, and he's not really shown any like there's nothing to I guess she kind of smiled, thought it was funny when he was beating the shit out of the Santa, which I guess says more about her than him. But there's nothing up to this point where she's like, yeah, I'll give this guy a shot. Like he's got a good heart behind all the goofiness and shit. It's just like, no, he's been a psychopath around her the entire time and fucking spied on her in the shower.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't make any actual sense, but it's a Christmas movie, so we suspend all belief in real life. Walter
Yep.
is upset that they committed a felony by taking a tree out of Central Park and put it in the house. I like the part where he jumps on the tree, though. He's like, "How are we going to get the star on top?" And he disappears off camera and then reappears. But they convince him, Walter, she's like, just take him to work with you. And they show up dressed identically, and he's just copying at first everything Walter's doing. And then he's immediately more popular in the office than Walter is because he's just so nice to everybody. Where he's like,
Yep.
Deb, you have such a pretty face. You should be on a Christmas card. She's like, oh my God, thank you. Walter gets sick of him immediately and sends him down to the
Yeah.
mail room and makes it sound all exciting. It is like, there's shiny machines down there. And I'm like, fuck you, Walter. This might be the worst thing you did the whole movie is making the mail sound exciting and sending someone to that hell.
And he goes down there. It's just like a bunch of people like smoking and drinking and just looking miserable. It's just like, well, this is just like the North Pole, except everyone looks like they want to hurt me.
Yeah. And, honestly, they should be paying a lot more attention to their mailroom with all the shit that's going on down there. Like,
Oh
why
yeah, that
is
dude's just like drinking codeine and just fucking lounging in the fucking packages and shit. No one's batting a goddamn eye.
Walter has a meeting with his head writers, and we get a Kyle Gass cameo, which I thought was crazy. I don't remember ever seeing him in anything other than Tenacious D.
And he's like, all right,
They're like,
what's
we
the
came up with the
plan
idea
for
for
the
you to hire Miles Finch. And this is right where I realized that Walter may in fact be bad at his job because they
yeah.
make that suggestion and he like sarcastically at first is like, you mean to tell me my top two writers came in here to pitch to me hiring another writer? He goes, I like it. And I'm like, oh God, he does suck at this.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he's just outsourcing everything and letting other people do the work and not giving a shit, while still also neglecting his family somehow while doing this. So it's a weird
Right.
little tangled web right there. But
And the few
But
things he
yeah,
does
no, yeah,
have to do, like signing pages, he fucks up.
yeah. Yeah, because his boss is like basically said like, look, if the next book isn't a hit, you're fucking fired and you're gonna lose your job. And I mean, he looks like he's got enough money to like land on his feet and shit, but still, big fucking deal to lose your job at Christmas.
Right. And in New York, yeah.
Yeah,
He gets a call from the mailroom and he's like, what could possibly be going on that I needed a call from the mailroom? And it's just Buddy dancing with everybody. I'm not sure who
yeah,
called to snitch him out for dancing with everybody.
yeah. I don't think that would be bad. Everyone's on their break. It's good for morale. Like fucking everyone's probably
Right.
gonna fucking work really hard after that. Honestly, like that whole scene, I always thought the whole joke was gonna be like he was gonna go down there and be like hyper competent at it because it's fucking like
Right.
North Pole
Just like
trading and shit.
super
He's just like,
speed sorting letters and shit. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a bunch of guys just standing around with like fucking nothing to do and shit. But yeah, no, it's just yeah, he starts a dance party.
Can't imagine there's that much work in one skyscraper of mail. You know what I mean? Because we deliver multiples of those in a day with one person. I don't know. Um, but he goes on his date with Jovi, and essentially, I gotta say, everything else aside, big giant green flag for a guy on a first date. He shows up to pick her up and she's like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I got some ideas. And I'm like, big deal right out of the gates on a first date if the guy's like, I have so much shit planned for us.
That's pretty baller. And like not even saying what you're doing. It's like, come on, let's go. It's just like, all right.
Right. Granted, what he does have planned is pretty fucking lame until they get to the Rockefeller Center, but
Yeah. Yeah,
he
it's
takes
like,
her to the world's best cup of coffee, and she's like, "This just tastes like a shitty cup of coffee." And she's like, "It is a
it's like, oh,
shitty
it's the
cup of
world's
coffee."
best. It takes her to the same like rotating door that he went through earlier, like the biggest Christmas tree he's found so far, which is like a random like department store Christmas tree. And she's like, I know a bigger one, and takes him to Rockefeller. And yeah, he takes the first move, kisses her on the cheek. He's like, you missed. He's like, what? You missed? And like kisses on the lips and was like, there, you have not earned this movie. Like, I'm sorry, but this is was an unearned romantic plot.
Yeah, she
Like
has to
5
have
more
some.
minutes of him not being a psychopath.
There's a different perspective of this movie where she's got like multiple psychiatric prescriptions and has something
Like, you see
traumatic
Santa
happen
too.
yeah.
Yeah, so something bad happened like Christmas Eve when she was a kid, and there's like some weird trauma thing that she's reacting to here. Something
Exactly.
I don't know.
Then we get my
It's
favorite
like
scene in the
Gremlins.
movie, the Peter Dinklage scene, where
Yes, this is another one of those scenes. Like if you look at it from the outside, like holy fucking shit, Will Ferrell's being an
Yes.
asshole.
yes, the jokes only play because Buddy is supposed to be an elf. But Peter Dinklage is a massive hard ass. Walks in, he's like, "What do you guys got?" And he's like, "We had an idea for a little tomato on a farm." He's like, "No tomatoes, too vulnerable. No farms. Everybody's pushing rural small town America."
Yeah, white
And
noise.
he's like, "Well, I had one for a tribe of asparagus people that are self-conscious because their pee smells." What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's like all they have is vegetables. Apparently, just help us. What do you have?
Buddy comes running in and says, "I'm in love," and then turns and lays eyes on Peter Dinklage.
No, like, and Elf. Just that. And to be fair to Peter English's character, man, like he
Exactly.
tries to like brush it off so many times. Like,
Right. He's like,
okay,
"Does Santa know
buddy,
you
Jeff,
left the workshop?" He's like, "Listen, man, we're laughing our heads off, but we got shit to do." And he was like, "Oh, you're an angry elf." And he's like, "Listen,
Yeah.
I get more action in a week than you've had your entire life. You feeling strong, my friend? Call me elf one more time." And then he does, and he runs down the table and starts
You're an elf.
whipping his fucking ass.
Yeah, just like judos him and beats the shit out of him. He's got him in the head like, "You're an elf again, motherfucker." It's like, "You're an elf." It's like, "I'm not fucking leaving." And they're like, just slams the door and runs out.
I like when he
And,
gets up and he's like, "He must be a South Pole elf." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
and yeah, his dad's like, "Buddy, I can't believe you ruined my life. Get the fuck out. Like, leave. I don't care where you go. Just get the fuck away from me."
Yes, screams at him in front of everybody to the point that his whole staff are just like, "That might have been a little much." Which, no, it isn't. If this was all really happening, I would be like, "Yeah, dude, get that guy out of our fucking office."
And they don't have the context that he thinks he's an elf.
Exactly.
Like, that is just the most like bigoted thing he could have fucking done.
If I
It's
worked there,
insane.
I would have made an HR complaint at this point and been like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I don't care whose fucking son he is. He shouldn't be here. He doesn't work here. He's insane."
Yeah, he ruined the fucking like major deal, like just by being fucking like ableist, I guess. I don't even know what you would call like what kind of racism
I don't
that
know.
is.
And then they just straight up commit plagiarism, right? Because
Yeah. I mean, they're just like, oh, we found his book, so we're just gonna steal this. Like, he doesn't have those ideas fucking copyrighted. I'm fucking sure. Like,
still, though, I don't know. I feel like he's more established in this universe of children's book. I feel like he could have sued the shit out of him. But I
yeah,
love
no,
that
like
he walks in and he's like, his best idea is a peach that lives on a farm. What's more vulnerable than a peach?
yeah, it's all bullshit. But yeah, no, and they say his name is like he's like as good as Dr. Seuss. Like that's like the
Right.
level of like children's author he is. So
Exactly.
yeah, that'd be like fucking me, like fucking like the Sneetches 2 and like trying to publish that shit. Be like,
Mm-hmm.
no, the Seuss estate would rape my soul into the ground. No.
Buddy leaves a note at the house on an etch-a-sketch, and I love that
Yeah,
he's
and
like, "I'm sorry,
perfect
I
cursive
crammed 11 cookies into the VCR."
CR. Yeah, no, we see is like he's a virtuoso with etch a sketch. He seemed like the Mona Lisa at one point on one. It's
Right.
great.
Yeah. Michael goes off on his dad. Is like, "We don't know where Buddy is," and he's like, "I don't give a shit. I got stuff to do." And he's like, "Buddy cares about everybody, and you only care about yourself." And I'm like, I can't. This is the cliche of seeing these movies as a kid and then seeing it as an adult and being like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, kid."
It's like, no, he has tried so hard for like he's gotten no benefit from this. Like he's been trying, like he's given this man like his home, his bed, food, shelter, like fucking affection. He tucked him in for God's sakes, and he's still fucking destroying his life. No, he tried.
Not to mention the hell
That
he's going through at work for you.
yes.
And then it looks like Buddy's contemplating suicide. Oh, sorry. Walter
Yeah.
finally nuts up and tells his boss to fuck off. Don't talk to my son like that, and leaves. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like Buddy's contemplating ending it all on a bridge in New York
Yeah.
City.
Very much so. And then just fortunately, Christmas Miracle of Miracles, that moment we see fucking Santa careening out of the sky. He's like,
Yeah.
Santa?
He even says, "I don't belong anywhere," and looks down into the water. I'm like, oh my God.
Buddy, no.
And then I love when they run up on Santa at the park, he immediately, his first reaction is, "Back off, Slick," and like turns around like he's going to fuck somebody up.
He's got a pipe wrench in his hand. Buddy, is that you? That's kind of like proceeds to use Buddy. Like he's happy to see him for 2 seconds. All right, get to work. He's like, okay, Santa.
Yep. I don't think Santa's capable of committing any labor on his own, but yeah, he says the engine broke free of the mount. I need an elf's help. Tells him, "You are a real elf, buddy," and just starts patronizing the shit out of him. I love this part though. Jovi is back at her house watching, like, has a bowl of ramen watching the news, and you see Buddy walking in. It's like Bigfoot footage, the way he even stops while he's walking.
Yeah, and she's like, oh God, I gotta go. And gets her jacket and runs out. And I think the son also sees Santa go down, right? Like that's how the son.
He's looking for the engine, and then they all kind of converge on the engine at the same time. And Walter apologizes while simultaneously calling him chemically imbalanced, while living proof that he's not wrong.
Well, okay. At this point, all he didn't see the sleigh his son did. At this point, all he sees is like a fucking jet engine on the ground with a cordoned off like some part.
Okay,
It's like,
sure.
okay, fucking plane went down or something. Yeah. And even then, it's still accepting. He's like, I understand you are not normal, but I will love you anyways. Let's go home. It's like it's still he's already made it. He's completed his character arc. Then fucking it's like, come on this way. Let me show you. And they just roll up on Santa, and he's like, oh, fuck, it's real.
This is also where we get the Matt Walsh cameo on the news, where he tells the reporter she's got a great mouth. There's no sneaking that under kids' radar at all. That was just a completely adult joke.
Yeah, you just like see the fucking like news like lady is kind of like and just like kind of like play it off at that point.
And then
there's like a big buzz going on that like Santa crashed down in Central Park and everyone's watching.
And then they see the park rangers are there. They start reporting it on the news, and they're like, "The park rangers are now in the park who have been criticized for getting too gung-ho when called to duty. Controversial crowd tactics at the Simon and Garfunkel concert in 1985 are still under investigation." I'm like, what the? And they make him look like the what are they called from Lord of the Rings?
Horsemen of the Apocalypse, or the Nazguls. Yeah. It's just they're just objectively evil. It's like we need a villain for the third act, so here's just 4 blatantly evil guys with no motivation beyond
New York
get the
City
fuck out of the
park
park.
rangers.
Yeah, and we find out later because like as Buddy's trying to fix the thing, like they hear him comes like Santa's like, oh no, the park rangers, like he knows about them.
Yeah, he says I put him on the naughty list and they never forgave me.
While they're helping him, real.
Right. While they're helping him fix the sleigh, he pulls out. He asked Michael what he wanted for Christmas, and he said a skateboard. He's like, well, not just any skateboard, a real Huff skateboard, and like pulls it out for him. Um,
Yeah, the
his
the
Christmas
sense
spirit
the
briefly
clausometer.
makes it fly. Yeah. And then Michael
And
gets a
yeah,
really good idea to go start reading Santa's list on live TV, and people all across the
yeah,
country
while
are reacting to hearing their Christmas wishes on TV.
being like Buddy's dad like tries to buy him some time by running off with the Santa outfit, but they're too savvy about Santa to let that trick them. They just fucking
Yeah.
blow right past him. It's like, you're not Santa,
Like they
bitch. No.
smell Santa.
But yeah, I love the she like the because he goes up to the reporter. She's like, okay, like what's your name? He's just like, oh, Carol Danvers. She's like, Carol Danvers. It's like you want a Tiffany engagement ring and your boyfriend to get off his fat ass and actually pop the question. She's like, who said you? Who told you to say that?
And then they turn off the cameras for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
He's like, turn the cameras back on. Sleigh gets moving. Park rangers are in chase,
He
and
just
they
leaves
like
Buddy. He's just like, we're
immediately,
leaving, Buddy.
right. They immediately hit a
He's like
statue and
sprint.
knock the engine back off of the sleigh. So it
Yep.
only got them that far. And then Jovi starts singing for the crowd with her beautiful Christmas voice. And they all start singing. And then the mom jumps in, and holy shit, she has a horrible voice.
Yeah. It's like, oh God, someone else jump in.
Once everybody starts singing, the Christmas spirit odometer, whatever the fuck it's called, goes into the red. And they just take the fuck off. And he's like, goodbye, everybody. And then it starts doing an ending montage. And I don't know how Buddy got back, but he does. And they have a family
Yep.
Christmas together where they give him a gallon of maple syrup.
Yep, yeah. Bob Newhart's like he's like narrating the end. He's like he still comes and sees me time to time, and we see that like Jovi and him have a kid. And I want to see the scene where she explains what sex is to him because he does
All I
not
could
know.
think about was Forrest Gump. When Jenny
Yeah,
does that with Forrest, that's what made this incredibly problematic. Also, Walter starts his own publishing company, and his first book is about this guy can't help himself. He fucking plagiarizes Dr. Seuss and then just monetizes his new son's life into the bestseller book.
yeah.
So I
We
don't
see
know that
like he's like
Walter
touring
learned
around
much.
now. No, I don't think he did. He's just like, oh, here's a way I can exploit my family for monetary profit. Cool. That's what I'm supposed to learn, right?
And then, yeah, you see Buddy and Jovi have a baby, and that's the end. As he
Yeah.
crushes Papa Elf's legs for the last time.
Which I will say that the scale and size difference thing, while not quite Lord of the Rings, are pretty good effects
Right.
still. Like, look decent.
It was,
As
yeah.
opposed to some of the shit we're going to get to. Because, oh
As
my
always,
God,
though,
that
I
fucking
want to see
chimney
what
scene.
happens after this when this large group of people all shared the same delusion of experiencing that Santa's real. Like, what happened to them
Yeah,
in
well,
their day-to-day lives after
yeah,
this?
half of them will convince they saw something else. The other half will slowly slip into psychosis and possibly, like, a cult that they'll worship Santa as the one true God.
Turn into the
It works
fucking
itself out.
principal from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yep.
All right, and now for the Santa Claus. It opens on a corporate meeting at B&R Toys.
Yeah, like a 90s corporate party of the likes of which I don't think exists anymore.
And right out of the gate, you get a fully adult joke where he's like, our families aren't here, which is why Bill has his secretary in his lap.
Mhm. Yeah. He's just talking pretty much about how good of a year they've had, and yeah, how they've like sacrificed time not being with their families, but it's all worth it for the money. And yeah, I think he like leaves shortly after that, and like has apparently stayed too long, as he calls his like wife, and just basically, oh yeah, there's like a 5-car pileup. He's super late,
Right.
and like he's like literally just left and shit. And he's late for his custody with his son.
Also
'Cause
feel like
we
he should
find
be
out that
driving
his
a
wife.
nicer car for how high up it seems he is at this
Mm.
corporation. And it's just like a
Yeah.
Ford Taurus, but
Yeah, they get home. We see they are not a happily divorced couple. I mean, I guess they're happy they're divorced, but they're not civilly divorced. Like they're just like snipping at each other the entire fucking time. It's like in front of the child.
well, and Neil is kind of a giant asshole for a lot of this movie, honestly. I don't know if I thought that when I was a kid, but he's like,
Yeah,
come inside real quick. It's Christmas Eve just for a second. And he is immediately like, what the fuck? And starts laying on the horn while they're inside talking. I'm like, it's pretty not cool, dude. Like, this is not your kid.
yeah, no,
As much as you act
yeah,
like it
and
for the duration of this movie.
Yeah, he's trying to totally do that thing where it's like, I'm going to replace your father, and that's going to be fine, son. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Massively overstepping a lot of boundaries in this movie,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah, even in this first scene, like we find out from the wife that one of the kids at Charlie's son's school or at Charlie's school told them that Santa's not real, and that Neil basically just like reinforced that. It's like, yeah, Santa's not real.
right. Yeah,
It
just
was like, the
fully went in
fuck?
on it, went full psychiatrist on it. I was like, it's more of a feeling. And I would be
Yeah.
pissed too. Like,
Yeah,
if
it's like I should be
your
involved in.
boyfriend decided we were done with this, like, what?
Yeah, Charlie's like fucking like what 6 or something in this. Like he's
Right.
still got like 2 or 3 good years of believing in Santa Claus under his belt. That like the magic could still live. And it's like, this is my kid. Involve me in the goddamn conversation. Like, cool. If I get outvoted, fine. But let me fucking vote. Like,
Right. Granted, they massively overcorrect, but
yeah. Well, yeah. Then what happens afterwards? Like, they totally see why it seems like spite what Scott's doing. It's like, oh, Santa's not real. I'll fucking show you Santa's real.
right. I though it did break my heart though here to like say to his mom, "Do I have to stay?" And I'm like, dude, that would have
Yeah.
fucking crushed me.
I know he's even it's like, okay, but like as soon as the sun comes up, like pick me up, okay? And she's like, okay. And it's just like, oh, shit, he fucking hates his dad.
And he's by no means like he tries. Like no,
Yeah.
in my opinion, and by no means is he like a deadbeat dad in this movie. He tries to make like a really nice Christmas dinner and burns it. And then they go to
Yeah. Just yeah,
Denny's,
I
but
mean,
like, fuck, he tried.
yeah, but this is one of those things he looks at, it's like 4 hours. Like he didn't fucking crack open the fucking recipe book before he
Right.
decided to start cooking. Well, I guess he had the turkey and everything and just not a good cook. But yeah,
And he was
they
at
try to
work,
go to like some
so
Italian place. Yeah. They try to go to an Italian place, it's closed, and they end up going to Denny's. And there's 2 people at Denny's. There's an entire Japanese business meeting, and there's just a bunch of other dads with their children who have also
right.
failed to cook a turkey.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the waitress. They have nothing good, like none of the good Christmas stuff. They're out of eggnog. They're out of everything good.
Yeah, chocolate milk. Yeah,
And then he's tucking him in. He reads him the night before Christmas, and when it's hilarious. I love this when he says, "A rose such a clatter." He's like, "Dad, what's a rose such a ladder?" He's like, "What? A rose such a clatter?" And he was like, "No, a
yeah,
rose such a clatter." And I was like,
yeah.
"That's just kind of inventive," and then it exists, but
Yeah. Which calls into question is like, did that always exist and we just misunderstood the rhyme?
right. Or did he just speak it into existence? Which is what I love about this movie, especially when I was a little kid. It made you feel like you could just imagine and speak things into existence, which was cool. But
But yeah, he's going through all the logical fallacies of Santa Claus. Like, how do the reindeer fly? And how does he get to every house in one night? And how does he get down the chimneys? And like, Scott's just trying to bullshit an answer because like he kind of doesn't care in a weird way, but he's also trying not to like completely destroy
yeah,
his son's fucking illusions. And he's
and
like,
for the
I don't
most
know,
part, he
man.
kind
Like
of
they're
nails it.
magic.
But
Yeah, and yeah, they're then it cuts to that night, and they hear a clatter arises on the roof.
he says, "Dad,
And
a rose
like,
such a clatter," and he says this
yeah,
correctly, and then and there's a rose such a clatter.
yeah, because well, also like I read a little thing about this. Apparently, this scene was changed after testing showed it was not great. But originally, Scott goes out with a shotgun
Yeah,
and shoots Santa Claus. And apparently, that didn't test well.
I
And
would
there's
have
still
liked it
some
just
evidence of
fine.
it in the story. Yeah, but I think it was probably a little much for the 7-year-olds who are going to watch it, seeing fucking like Cap get busted at Santa's ass. Like, might have
Which
been a
is
little intense.
if they had left that scene in the way it is, though, it would have erased all these conspiracy theories surrounding this movie that it was planned for Santa to
Oh, it was
die.
planned. It's 100% planned.
But if
No,
he shot him
we'll
with a
get to it.
shotgun, then that all goes away. But since they took it
Yeah.
out, it makes that conspiracy theory. But yeah, Santa
Yeah,
falls
but
off
he
a
goes
roof,
outside.
and there's
Yeah,
a
and he's like,
reindeer and
hey, and
everything
Santa
out
just
there.
and this, oh my god, though, like I said, the snow in this movie is so fucking bad. Like when Santa falls off the roof, he takes like an entire like fuzzy sheet of snow with him as he fucking
Yeah.
falls. There's a few times in this where I was like, oh man, this is not meant to be viewed in 4K. Holy shit.
Right. Yeah, it definitely didn't stand out in the 90s, a lot of this shit. But especially when they're flying and everything, it's so
Oh
bad.
yeah, so bad.
Or
It's like
even the
literally,
part
it's
where
like
they're walking through the park and there's reindeer following him. That might have been the most
yeah.
obvious to me that they were in front of a green screen.
Yeah, but yeah, Santa eats shit off the roof, falls onto the ground, and doesn't respond to any outside stimuli. He's fucking dead.
Starts going through him looking for an ID and shit and finding nothing. And he even like he holds a card up to him, right?
No, he pulls that out of his jacket, like pocket.
Okay.
He's like,
But,
I'm
the
not
thumbs
robbing you,
up,
man. I'm
that's
just
what
looking
he
for ID.
does.
Yeah, he goes like this. He like waves goodbye, basically. Like,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, and then as he's reading it, it's like Santa Claus, and he turns back. It's like, if something should happen to me, put on the suit, and the reindeer will know what to do. And he's like, the fuck? And like he turns around and like fucking runs into a ladder, which is the Rose Such and Clatter or Ladder
Rose
Company or
Suchik
something.
Ladder Company.
Yeah,
He's like, Dad, look, Rose Suchik Ladder. He's like, what the fuck? And he's really trying for the next like half hour to just be like, yeah, that's just because of this. That's just because of this.
yeah.
While also simultaneously accepting that they're flying and shit.
Yeah, and he turns around, and the Santa Claus is gone, and just his clothes are there. And it's weird. It's not like the clothes are laying where like he would have like disappeared. Like the boots are standing next to the clothes, like
Right.
someone took it off and left. And he's like, "Oh God, he's naked around here somewhere."
And this is simultaneously like almost impressive and horrifying. The reindeer, when you see them, the reindeer farts, they're super gross and weird.
Yeah,
And I think they're animatronic, which at first I was
yeah,
like, I appreciate that. I like that. It looks okay for the 90s. And then you see the reindeer roars at him. They're like getting frustrated with him. And you see they have human fucking teeth. Why do they
and
have
eyes.
human teeth? It was horrifying.
Wow.
But yeah,
And then
they immediately just go start delivering presents because Charlie's like, everything I want to do is always stupid, and he's like, okay, fine, we'll go ride the sleigh and deliver presents. Like, what the fuck?
And yeah, he puts on the clothes and stuff because he's still half naked from just like coming out in his boxers. And they land on a roof, and he's like, "Okay, what now?" And it's like the bag, and he like grabs the bag and just like fucking like lifts him up into the air. And in some of possibly the worst special effects I've ever seen in a fucking movie released in theaters, he gets sucked down the chimney. But it literally it's just like someone took his picture and just went squish, and then it's like took the chimney and went squish, and oh my god, it's so bad.
Oh yeah, this one and the next roof, because he goes in here and a dog runs out and somebody shoots a gun. Like, I don't know what the gun
Yeah,
was fired at, but they shoot a gun and then Bag takes him out. He's like, there's no more presents. This is where you see the human teeth. He's like, there's no more presents
yeah,
left, and the reindeer turns and growls at him, and that's where you see the human teeth. That he picks up the bag and there's another present in there. So they go to the next
yeah. It just
place, which
refills.
doesn't have a chimney. They just have a ventilation pipe, and that CGI is even worse, where they shrink him down. He goes in the tube, and then as he
Hmm.
gets down, a fireplace appears, and that was just
Yeah,
like
the
like
morph
a
effect from like 1995. They took
right.
the wall picture, they took the picture of the grate, and then they just like it said transition. Like there was no
Yeah.
human interaction beyond that. Like,
It was fantastic. I love it. But all in all, they're accepting all of this very quickly. And he drops
yeah,
off a
and
present to a girl, and it's a Raggedy Ann doll. And I'm like, no child in the 90s wanted a Raggedy Ann doll.
well, at least too. That's like a thing they like at least address an elf. Like when Buddy's like in training, it's like, okay, we're never gonna learn how to make this generations of advanced chip processors. It's like, okay, they're still making the
Right.
fucking Xboxes and shit up there. That's fine. But yeah, this is very much of the like like the wooden train dolly, like rubber ball kind of Santa toys that he
Yeah,
fucking
even
gives
when
out.
they're
Egg
at the
packs.
North Pole, I'm like looking at all the toys they're making. I'm like, nobody wants these in the 90s. Where's Sega at?
No.
Where's the Sega? Where's the fucking Power Ranger flip head toys?
Yeah, the little girl wakes up and he's like, "Go back to sleep." And he's like, "You're a little thin for Santa." And he's like, "I'm gonna die." He's like, "Where's your beard?" "I shaved."
Yeah. And then she's like, aren't you going to drink the milk? He's like, I'm lactose intolerant, which comes up later. But yeah,
Yeah.
right after that, they write away and he says, Merry Christmas to all a good night. When I wake up, I'm getting a CAT scan. And the
Oh,
reindeer
fair.
takes him
Yeah. And they're like,
to the North Pole. And I love this depiction of the North Pole, how they're almost like a covert federal organization, the way it
yeah.
feels, like with the elves and everything, the
And
ELFs.
all the like covert technology and shit's
Yeah.
inside of the magic stuff.
An actual
But yeah,
pole
yeah,
comes out of the ground while a child elf just stares at them, and I'm like, ugh.
yeah. And then like he like hits a button and like a little keypad comes out of like this mystical North Pole and he's like "Deep, deep, deep, deep," and then like that activates the magic platform that lowers
Right.
him down. And here's where I think it's a fucking conspiracy. Not a single goddamn elf is surprised.
No.
They're not like, "Oh, new Santa? What happened to the old Santa? Oh my goodness!" They're just like, "Nope, you're here, new Santa now. You're the boss now.
Yeah, they
Go."
start trying to gaslight the fuck out of him. He goes like, who's your
Yeah,
boss? They're like, you are.
yeah. Like, no, no, no. Like, who's the head elf? You are.
And then you see Seth Goldstein from Harold and Kumar as Bernard, and he's like the supervisor elf, and he's like a massive dick about it. Cause yeah, he's like, they're all like, you're the boss, you are our boss, and none of them seem remotely concerned. And then Bernard's like, okay, get with it, like just accept what's happening.
Yeah.
You're Santa, and he gives Charlie a snow globe while they're talking. that has been lodged in my memory, and this uncovered it forever. Like, you remember Indian in the
Mhm.
Cupboard? It kind of made me think of that.
Yes.
Like how you could just make things like come to life, but he shakes a snow globe and looks in it, and you can see like an actual home and like fire coming up from the houses.
Yeah, and Santa like flies across the scene and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get a little reference in here for fucking Home Improvement is like Tim Allen puts on a tool belt for a second. He's like, no, 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 no.
He does it a couple times. He does the Tim Allen noise also when
Yeah.
he's in the mirror. But
Yeah.
Bernard shows
And
him the Santa Claus, which is in fine print all around the edges of the card that says, by
yes,
either
which
accident
then
or
also
design, Santa dies. And I'm like, this is really not helping the theory that you
mm-hmm.
planned the
What is
by design.
yeah. Fine. Like that's built into the clause. Like what the fuck?
Right. Like that
When do we need to
implies that you're
forcibly change
consistently
Santa?
right. You're consistently making like plots against Santa if it's by
Like, do they go
design.
mad with power or something? Like, I know all, I'm omniscient. Okay, we gotta kill this one. He's going too far.
Yeah, he eventually just gets completely sick of it. It's like, I'm not gonna do it. And they're like, okay, motherfucker.
Yeah, and yeah, we see that like the border of this card that like he that had the instructions on the back is actually this like detailed fucking contract. And if you watch the Santa Claus 2, Mrs. Claus, apparently within those letters are also another contract, a sub level down you need a microscope to read. That says
Right.
he needs to be married within the first 2 years. It was
Yeah, they get a little out of
I
control
know
in the
the
sequels to these movies. But
yeah, no, I
then there's
know the
the
deep
escape
lore, and I wish I
clause.
didn't. Yeah.
Bernard apparently hates Christmas and Christmas music. You kind of start picking
Yeah.
up on because he like whispers lyrics that could be in Christmas music because he says it loud and then everybody starts singing and he's like, oh, God damn it. And there's also a baby elf working here for some reason. And
Yeah, and he goes basically like, "What if I just choose not to believe in this?" And like the entire fucking like auditorium turns into like fucking Children of the Corn.
right, very terrifying, especially because this is
Yeah.
right around when Christmas Children of the Corn came out. But they basically tell him that if he just decides he doesn't believe, it kills Christmas, and probably all of them is kind of implied. And they're like, you wouldn't want to do that, would
Yep.
you, Scott? And he's like, Jesus Christ, okay.
Yep. And then yeah, he kind of just dismisses any more concerns. He's like, "This elf called Julie will show yourself to your show you to your room." He's like, "I
This
got shit
part's
to do." And he
weird.
just fucking leaves. Yeah, and yeah, this like little like a short Asian girl elf comes up and starts like directing him. She's like, "Do you need anything?" He's like, "I can use a stiff drink." She kind of goes off, and we see Santa's room, which is just filled with toys and what I hope is a sentient Punch and Judy doll set, because if not, he just flashed two elves when he took his pants off there. Yeah, and then yeah, we just see a bunch of like elves peeping on him for some reason while he's changing.
Yep.
Just all looking through the little glass holes in his door, which are there for some reason. And Judy's just like, "Shoo!" And they all run away giggling and shit. And she comes in, and there's this weirdly tense scene between them that I did not like.
Yeah, she gives him some hot chocolate, and he's like, this is amazing. She's like, yeah, I spent 1,200 years perfecting it, as if it's supposed to make the next line better, because he says something, and then she says, oh, I'm already spoken for, Santa. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
it's like, wait, is this why we had to kill the last Santa?
Probably.
We're just setting a hard line on that with the new one, like right at the beginning. Just no elves.
But the next morning, they wake up at home, and
Yeah,
then he pretty quickly
and
starts
Calvin
putting
just
together it
starts.
wasn't a dream.
But he tries to gaslight himself though.
Right.
It's amazing. Like the amount of denial that exists within this man is impressive.
It
It's like,
is, yeah.
well,
He's got
I
the pajama has an SC, and he's like, well, those are just my initials. And he puts
yeah,
Judy was also the name of the waitress, apparently. He's like, oh, you're
yeah,
remembering the waitress.
yeah, and even the wife, like, because like his mom comes to pick him up early, like right as he wakes up, and which is what he asked, and she's like, it's like, where'd you get the pajamas, Scott? Because apparently he sleeps naked. We find out later, but he's like, oh yeah, I just got this from Judy. It's like Judy. It's like, you got it from Judy at the North Pole. It's like, oh, Judy at the restaurant. It's like, so you got pajamas from a waitress?
Yeah.
He was banging the waitress last night.
And Charlie's
Lines with
going
this
on and
kid,
on
yeah.
about how they went to the North Pole and Santa's real. And Neil says, Charlie, we'll discuss this at home. Like, fuck you, Neil. Like, that's not your place at
Yeah.
all. And then they
Yeah,
leave, and that's when
that's
he
what's
is like, normally I sleep naked, buck naked, as two people walk
yeah.
by. And I
Yeah.
always laughed my
It's like
ass
Mrs.
off when I
Robinson
was a
Springfield.
kid because I thought he said butt naked, but I guess it's buck. But yeah, when I was a kid, that was hilarious to me. Then they're having career day at school where a fireman is just trauma dumping about the death of his partner to a classroom full of 8-year-olds.
Yeah, and he's just like, I never stopped smelling the burning flesh. And it's like, okay, and that was Fireman Jim. Thank you, Jim. And also, like, I forget who the actress is and the teacher, but she plays the best teacher. Like, I've seen her in a few things, and this is like that
Yeah.
is like the embodiment of like a second grade teacher.
Yeah, she
And
tries
she
for
has one
the
of the best
briefest
lines.
moment to like intervene, and then it's just like, all right, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's like he's talking about like elves. Like it's like we don't call them elves, we call them little people. He's like, no, they really well, really well. I was like, whatever.
Neil's getting ready to go up as a therapist because that's what every second grade class wants to talk to is a therapist.
Yeah,
And he's like, actually, can Dad go first? And he's like, very visibly bummed out about it. He says, my dad's Santa. They all go back and forth like, no, he's not. And then it cuts to a meeting with the principal. And Tim Allen really flexed his comedy chops here because I was laughing my ass off. Where he's like, what exactly did you guys do last night? And he's like, well, we shared a bowl of sugar, had some shots of brown liquor, played with my shotguns, field dressed a cat,
yeah.
looked for women.
Which the shotguns is a reference to the thing when he supposedly fucking shot Santa. That's a little leftover line from that initial shooting.
Okay. Well, it still
Yeah,
fit
yeah, it's
just
a reference to
fine,
that.
but
Oh yeah, yeah. He was like, "What?" He's like, "We went and had dinner, and I read him a fucking book, and he went to bed. Like, what do you want me to say?"
and then they
I'm
kind
not
of
reinforcing
repeat the
this.
scene twice for some reason, where it cuts to him and Charlie walking, and he's like, "Listen, none of it's real. I'm not Santa. Like, you got to stop." And then Charlie starts giggling, and that's where you get the really shitty green screen where there's reindeer following them, and that's why Charlie's giggling.
Yeah,
And
and
then Neil's like
yeah, he's like,
debating Charlie on like the atheist, like, God doesn't exist, prove me wrong kind of
yeah,
level. Is he's talking to this
yeah. And
child?
Charlie kind of wins in a weird, fucked up way.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's like, well, have you ever seen like so and so, such and such? It's like, well, have you ever seen $1 million? Like, no. It's like, but it exists. He's like, shit.
He was not prepared for this at all. He even says, what about people that don't have chimneys? He's like, magic makes you shrink down and then one just kind of appears. And he's like,
Yeah, and he's like, well, what about all the children in the world? He's like, oh, it's not all the children in the world. Not everyone believes in Santa.
right.
If Santa ever like flies over like Iran, like in Elf, does he just like immediately lose power and like start dropping? Like,
That's a good movie, actually. Santa
yeah,
crash lands in the Middle East.
Santa down.
Yeah, Scott and Charlie are walking again, and he's like, listen, he basically just says, just keep it a secret then. Like, if I'm not going to convince you to
Yeah,
not
which
believe
is
this, just don't stop
super
talking about it.
unhealthy. It's just like just keep this
Right.
secret from your mom, which is never something you
No.
want to like. Okay, like maybe like keep the secret I bought your mom a necklace for fucking Christmas, but never like, hey, this is like some psychological shit you're going through, but just don't tell your mom.
Right. Yeah, no, it's pretty fucked up. I also was just like, they need to kill time here because we did the same scene twice, essentially,
Yeah.
where they're walking, and he's like, please stop fucking talking about this. You're going to ruin my custody.
Yeah. And then after that, we see the true horror of Santa Claus begin.
Yeah.
As he wakes up like 50 pounds heavier and salt and pepper hair. He's like aged like 20 years in a day. And even when he stands on the scale, you see it's like still like ticking up slightly. Like every like couple of seconds, he's gaining like another ounce.
And he's not gray or anything yet. So at first, he just looks like a gross trucker.
Yeah.
Because his beard's like barely grown in, but it's just scruffy and brown, and he just looks like he has a little bit of hair, but and it's fat as shit. And they must not have had
He's one of the
EEO
bender.
rules in the 90s, because immediately when he gets to work, they're like, "Why are you fucking fat, Scott?" And I'm like, "Jesus Christ, you guys!"
I mean, to be fair though, like I would like it wouldn't be like a accusatory thing. It'd be concern. Like if I saw him
to a point.
I guess in this it's two or 3 days ago at this point, and like he's grown like 2 weeks worth of facial hair and gained 50 pounds in 2 days. Be like, dude, you need to go to a fucking doctor like right now. Something's wrong.
But then they, like I said, to a point at first, one mention of it, maybe, but then they keep going, and then he takes him outside, just like, you're like the fucking Pillsbury Doughboy. And I'm like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was the 90s. They did probably way worse than that.
Right.
But yeah, and it's like the whole thing. He tries to play it. I was like, oh yeah, bee sting, and the cleaners burned down, so like I have to wear the sweatsuit and shit. And then he orders like every dessert on the menu and like a milkshake and a fucking like chocolate chip cookie, and they're like, bee sting, Scott?
And they play the Jeopardy song while they all just stare and watch him eat. I'm like, at a certain point, you have to be like, all right, we should probably just stop staring at him while he does this.
Yeah, well, let's get started and let him do that. And
But
we
this is also
at this point
horrifying because it means that this is like taking over his brain now. Like, it's not just his body.
It's
He's like
affecting his
craving
personality
this
on
shit.
like a core level.
Right.
Yeah. Well, beyond that too, like he's like a cynical businessman before this, and then like they bust out like the advertisement for the
Yes.
Total Tank,
The
which is like
total
this like
take, yeah.
child size like
That
which I
cracked me
wanted
up
as a
too
kid. I'm
when
like,
they're
that
showing
sounds
pages from the
fucking
book
awesome.
and they're like, until Santa was in a panzer. And I'm like, Jesus, what is this
Yeah, and
book?
he's just like, oh no, no. Yeah, he's basically like Santa can't be in a tank. He's like the reindeer and the elves are wrong, and it's like they should be like children with little sparkly cheeks.
Right.
Oh god, and then he like just starts ranting. It's like, yeah, it's like you ever try to put it together? It's like up to 1,000 pieces. It breaks in 10 minutes. You have to buy new parts. We're like, yeah, Scott, that's the point. Like we
Right.
we we we
He's
went
like, we
over
need to
this.
make more sustainable, like quality toys. And they're like, get the fuck out. But that's when they walk outside again to be like, hey, like, why are you fucking fat? Like, go figure your shit out. And then he's at the fucking doctor. And the prosthetic body they have on him looks decent until you look closely at it. You see
Yeah,
like really weird, gross seams in like his armpit and
yeah.
shit.
Like I said, this is all was meant to be seen on a CRTV in 1994. We
Exactly.
have way too good technology. Well, it's like you ever try to watch Star Trek: The Next Generation on HD, and you see all
No.
like the fucking screws, and
I
oh, it's don't.
I have the same the
It's
original Star Wars I struggle with to watch on high def, and they've actually like worked on
yeah.
that to make it look better. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's brutal. But I love he's just starting to look like Michael McDonald at this point, the singer, which is cracking me up. And he's like, "Well, what's your diet, man?" And he's like, "Milk and cookies." And he's like, "Well, no shit, you're so fucking fat."
It's like lighten up on the sweets, man. And it's like, all right, let's take a listen to your heart. Which just then this plays Jingle Bells, which I was at doctor. It's like, we need to get you into the hospital immediately. That is the
Yeah,
most
you need to go
irregular
to some
heartbeat
kind
I've
of
ever heard.
surgery right the fuck now.
Like, yeah, lay down. Do not move.
You need 6 fucking pacemakers or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or we need to study you. Something's fucking going on there, man. And I don't know.
And he just
Especially with
makes
all
a
this
face
like
at him like, what the? He's like offended by it. He's like, oh.
yeah. No, like that with the rapid weight gain, the hair growth, the loss of pigment, like you have like some kind of horrible brain tumor. We need to fucking check you out, man.
Right.
Like there's something wrong. Like your personality shifting and like your entire like palate is changed. No, there's something like you got something pressing on your brain.
And then this is where she gets incredibly problematic because we cut to him at his kid's soccer game and children are lining up to sit on his lap at the soccer game. And this is
Yep.
his mom walks up and I'm like, yeah, she should have called the cops immediately.
Yeah. No, it's like one of those things like she's painted as like the bad guy in this, but like from any objective outside thing, it's like, no, my ex-husband is either like doing this incredibly spiteful, psychologically damaging thing to my son intentionally, or he has
Right.
lost his goddamn mind. Those are the only
And
two
is
options.
being really, really inappropriately familiar with the kids at the park.
Yeah.
And he
And
receives a package delivery of hundreds of red files that took 5 fans to deliver, and it's the list.
yeah.
I'm like, you're telling me all that
Yeah.
magic, you couldn't have made like a never-ending scroll or something? It had to be 5,000
Yeah.
red files.
This completely fills his house and they never come back to that. Like
Nope.
like like he has nowhere to live now. But yeah, he also finds out he's omniscient now. He just
Right.
knows by looking at someone if they're naughty or nice, and he's like Billy, nice, Danny, like naughty, Billy, nice, like, and then like a hot woman goes like Nancy, very naughty.
Yeah, he's also pervy as fuck, apparently. Yeah, he's starting to wear
Yeah,
Christmas colors while he's doing this as well.
he's getting
For
like
like the
full
third
white at
time
this
in the
point.
movie, I think he tries to shave and dye his hair, and it immediately grows back.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, this is not like I think that's the finally the point he realizes something is seriously fucking wrong. Like when
It's
instantly,
just
he's like, oh, I'm in trouble.
it's kind of horrifying if you think about it because he's got this thing going on where his brain is like, you're Santa, you love Santa things, but there's a part of him that's trying to fight it apparently. So it's like he's in there trying to fight through Santa, which is terrifying.
Yeah, and he's just gonna like it's just gonna completely subsume his personality, which it does by the end. He's like not the same person at the end of this he is at the beginning by any fucking means.
But Neil and Mom are trying to get Scott's visitation rights taken away. And there's a moment where she's like, you know, what was so bad about Charlie believing in Santa? And I'm like, is that where we're at right now? You're just now realizing that wasn't a giant deal? The other shit's a big deal.
Yep, and
And they have a little heart to
yeah, we
heart
kind
where
of
she's like, when did you stop believing in Santa? And she's like, I always wanted a mystery date game for Christmas, and I never got it. And that was when I stopped. And Neil, of course, wanted the Oscar Mayer weenie whistle, and he didn't get it. And he was 3 years old and stopped believing in Santa.
yeah, it's like 3 really, and
And then
yeah, like they have like a hearing, and apparently Scott can't even help himself when he's at the hearing. He's got like a fucking like Christmas themed tie and fucking like a red undershirt and his fucking suit and shit. And yeah, Charlie comes running out and he's like, "Don't worry, Dad. I told the judge everything. It'll be fine." And it just cuts to the judge like, "Yeah, we're taking away all your visitation rights."
Yeah, he shouldn't even be there, I don't think. But
Yeah.
he seems relatively okay with this. Like, personally, I'd be losing my motherfucking mind. But he's like, "It's okay, Sam. It's okay, Charlie." And then, like, 5 seconds later, he's at their house. And I'm like, "You're breaking so
Yeah,
many
like
laws right
fucking
now, buddy."
like yet again that thing that you could put horror movie on, just like him lurking outside the window and fucking watching them like as like they're having this fucking like nice Christmas moment. And he comes in and like Neil's like, "You're not supposed to be here, Scott." And he's like, "Scott, I will beat the shit out of you. Back off."
And he says, "Would Santa really beat someone up?" And then Charlie's there. I still fucking hate Neil. All of this shit aside, I don't like Neil. And because right here, Neil gets in Charlie's face, like an inch away from his face, and be like, "Santa's not real." And I'm like, "Fuck you, Neil. You're supposed to be a therapist."
Yeah,
And he should have
basically
knocked
he's like,
his
"Look,
ass out.
yeah." And he's like, "Look, just let me like give me a minute alone just to say goodbye to Charlie," which not a good idea. Just took his vegetation rights, and 90% of kidnapping happens from parents that are on the other side of a custody battle. Just
But I
saying.
also hate
But
that the mom is okay with it, and Neil like throws a fit and stomps his feet off, and I'm like, dude, this
yeah,
guy needs to. Somebody needs to check him at some point in this movie.
yeah, and like she follows him off, and like Scott's saying goodbye to Charlie, and then Bernard just fucking like materializes eating turkey. He's like, "Oh, this fucking dry turkey, goddamn."
He's like, "Have you never heard of basting?" And then yeah, they just disappear. And yeah, this is where like yeah, the cops are doing
The
an
horror movie.
APB. They're prepping
Yeah, she just comes outside screaming, "Charlie!"
yeah, shit's gotten real now. Charlie calls and is like, "It's okay, Mom, we're at the North Pole." And they're like tracing the fucking call and everything.
Like, "Don't hang up! Don't hang up! Don't... Damn it!" It's like, "I gotta go help the elves. Bye." What drugs are they giving our son to make him believe he's with elves?
Well, then what do you like? What are you thinking is happening when you still have no evidence that any of this is real, and you hear your child say that to you? Like, what the fuck is an elf? What are they doing?
Did he make a cult? Does he have followers? What is going on here?
Right. And then they just cut back to happy North Pole land where they're showing him his new flame retardant suit, and the whole time he's just like, "What about falling off the roof? What about falling off the roof?"
Yep. Yeah, and
The
they're saying like all this new technology is coming out of here, like things that are better than the ball. I'm like, why didn't y'all do this for the last set? Because you wanted them to die, didn't you? You
right.
didn't give him this technology because you wanted him to die. You telling me the 6-year-old came here and just came? Oh no, you had these things. You just didn't give it to him.
Um, The cops have formed a Christmas Gestapo and are grabbing anybody dressed as Santa off the street, beating the shit out
Yeah,
of them.
they're doing a lineup of all the Santas and shit. She's like,
Which
yeah,
that
another
part
him.
fucking, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, "Are we serious right now? There's a black dude in there. You all know what he looks like."
Still woman, I think. Like just based on like the height alone.
Yeah, they have a black dude, a woman, and a little person, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this lineup,
Like
dude?"
the police are profiling people who don't look like
Right.
the suspect they're actually running based on vague external factors. No, you don't say. They would
Oh, it
never.
was too current. Anyway, they start doing Christmas delivery. The little girl from
Well, first
last
you have to
year
remember
has.
they do this for some reason.
Oh
There's
yeah,
like a
the little
fucking
ZZ Top
walkout.
dance that was just
Yeah,
strange.
yeah, and they
Very
meet
Tim
Hugh or
Allen type
Quentin,
humor
who's
though.
yeah. But yeah, we get our second James Bond reference in this too, because they talk about the Coco earlier being shaken, not stirred. Then we have
Right,
Quentin being the tech guy of
right.
Q. You know,
Yep. The little girl from last year left him soy milk this time, and then immediately after
yeah,
this, they only show the one delivery, and then Charlie's like, "That's Mom
yeah,
and
that's
Neil's
our
house.
home.
We should stop in." I'm like, "How the
Yeah.
fuck does he recognize their house from the sky?"
And
um,
yeah, he just goes in, and the cops just immediately bust Santa. Like this has never happened before.
and he
I guess maybe it
doesn't
has.
fight them
They
off
have the
really
offs.
at all.
No, it's
He
just like
goes
he's like,
straight to
"Hello,
jail.
boys." Yeah, they just pick him up, and like just all these children see Santa being like hauled away in a fucking cop car.
Right, and then
Which also like, oh, that's the other thing too is throughout the movie there's elves like spattered in with all the kids and shit. Like they're watching him the entire time. Like in
oh,
the
I didn't notice that. That's even more
yeah,
creepy.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, like the one that I remember specifically, there's two. There's one in the background in Career Day because you see he's got a beanie on covering the tips of his ears, but his like cheeks are sparkly. And then there's
That's
another one in the crowd, like with all the kids watching, and then like that one kind of backs away, and I think that's where like they like tell like the elves
that one I
Santa's down.
saw.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
they got like a fucking North Pole cartel apparently, but
yeah. It's like a shadow network of elves that have like infiltrated the fucking school systems and shit. Like,
yeah,
this is how Santa really knows if you're naughty or nice. There's just like one kid in the school just
right.
fucking taking notes and snitching.
That and his omniscience apparently, but yeah, they're like
Yes.
he's gone radio silent and he's not moving. And they're like, time to deploy the ELFs then, and it's a military unit with jetpacks that is just for this reason apparently. 4 elves go out
Yeah.
on a jetpack. I like the way they have a little kid trying to talk like a like seasoned
You're a
military
hardened veteran.
veteran to
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, hey, and Charlie, don't try to do this without elf supervision, but it's a little kid saying it to
Yeah. Yeah,
him.
they pick him up, Charlie up first, and fly him away, and take him to the immediately to the jail where Santa's being held, and
Which I don't know why they
the
picked up
fattest.
Charlie in the first place for this, but
Yeah, they could have honestly left him with the parents, and that would have solved a lot of fucking problems that happen
it
later. But
would have.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, they take him, and they go into the police station, and like the cops like, "What do you want, kids?" He's like, "I'm here to see my dad." It's like, "Oh shit, you're the Calvin boy," and like he's like about to like fucking like call someone else, just like ambushed him with fucking ribbons.
Yeah, they wrap him up in the chair and stuff a donut in his mouth. And then to break Santa out, Tinsel apparently doubles as a plasma cutter.
Yeah, and there's a running up the guy in like another cell. It's like, "Can I get the tinsel? Can I get the tinsel?"
So, barely an
He's like, "This."
inconvenience. They bust him out immediately and go right back to get ready to go right back to what they were doing. He takes him back and is like saying goodbye to Charlie. And I made a note here. This kid is a really good actor. Really triggered some
Yeah, he
stuff
can do
with
sad really
my
well. Yeah,
mom here when he's saying goodbye to his dad and just weeping in front of everybody. I'm like, God damn it, he's a good actor. And then for some reason,
yeah,
this is the moment where like the haze falls, I guess, or they buy into the
yeah.
delusion. However you want to
Well,
look at
my
it.
my whole thing is it's Christmas Eve, so the Santa curse has fully taken like effect onto him now,
It's like a
and
full
like
moon.
the
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the identity of Calvin has been completely deleted, and now his Santa aura has appeared, like staring into the face of Cthulhu, like you just know his name. It's like that. It's just like they're staring into the face of like an elder god. It's like, oh my god, it's Santa. It's just like this. The knowledge is just like forced into their minds by his sheer presence.
That's
And he's just like,
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, she realizes it and it's like, oh my God, you're him. And
yeah.
Neil's the
Like Neil
last
takes a
one.
second. And he kind of
Yeah.
like looks. He's like, it's okay, Neil.
And even when he sees it, he's still like, I don't fucking, I can't reconcile this in my brain. And, and then Bernard walks in at like the worst possible time.
Eating
It
the
almost like
worst
they're
hero I've ever
trying
seen.
to send him into a full fucking like mental breakdown while he's like, falling apart. Bernard appears, says some shit, and then just turns into confetti.
Yeah,
As
like,
if they're
he's
trying to
gone.
make him go into a full psychosis.
And he's like, Laura? She's like, I'll explain it to you. Just calm down.
I'm like, you're gonna explain what, lady? Yeah, when Bernard does that, I was crying laughing. It was almost like they wanted to
Oh,
be like,
Bernard's a
you think
troll.
that's
No,
crazy,
you know,
Neil? Check this shit out. Poof.
yeah, he 100% did that on purpose to be a fucking dick. Like, that made his year.
I also like,
Going to
she's
troll
like,
that
I'm going
one
to give you
even.
your Christmas present early, Scott, and it's custody papers. I'm like, what a lame Christmas present.
Yeah, well, she rips him up and throws him in the fire and just says, like, look, you can come and see him anytime you want.
Right.
And it's like, don't worry about that.
Oh, and
Also,
Bernard
he's
tells
Santa. You
him,
can't fucking stop him from seeing him now if you want to. Nothing can keep him out.
oh, shit.
He wants his son. He's getting his son. He's just going to send the jetpack elves to pick him up, man. You better agree to all this.
He also tells Charlie that the snow globe they gave him is he can shake it anytime to summon his father, basically. So just you can't keep him out of this child's life, even if you wanted to. Cops are around the house and they all witness Santa take off in his sleigh.
Yep, and then Santa just starts dropping fucking Christmas gifts like fucking supply crates.
Yeah, with the sweet parachutes on them. Neil gets his teeny weeny whistle, or what is it? Oscar Mayer weenie
Weenie
whistle.
whistle.
But, yeah.
Oscar Mayer weenie whistle.
And she gets her mystery date game. And I love that Charlie looks at Neil and is like, you're denying your inner child, Neil. And he's like,
Yeah.
You'd make a really
Also,
great
Charlie's gets a
therapist.
fucking soccer ball. Like, he made like everyone else's
Yeah,
like
what the
dream
fuck?
come true, and Charlie's gets a fucking ball. I guess he gets anything he wants when he asks. He's just like,
True.
yeah, and a ball.
And he's like, I think you'd make a great psychiatrist, Charlie. And he's like, I think I'm going to go into the family business. I'm like, Charlie, do you
So
realize what you just said?
yeah, that means you're planning on killing your father. Like, that's the only way we know canonically that the it can be passed down.
It's like I have a taste for murder now.
I want the immortality and
I'm also
control
like,
of all
why
the
is everyone
elves.
not losing their fucking minds while they're watching Santa leave
Yeah.
from the roof right now? But, you
I
know,
guess it's just
both of
the
these movies do
Santa
that.
psychic calming aura, which is like taking over all their minds. He
Right.
settles into his cosmic
Which I
role.
wouldn't doubt because they really harp on Santa basically having superpowers, like, not even necessarily superpowers. It's really kind of on par with like a werewolf curse the more I think about it.
Yeah.
Powers
Except
he
it's just
doesn't even
permanent. Like
want.
once, yeah, like once you're changed, that's it. It's locked in. You're just that now. Like you still have all the memories of your previous life, but your personality is like gone.
Right.
It's you Doctor Who'd. Like
And then it does a time fade to where all the cops are gone now. And Charlie couldn't wait 20 fucking minutes before using the snow globe, which is on par with
no.
children. It makes sense to me.
Yes.
um,
Yeah,
and so
like,
he appears. He's like, give me
takes
a
it.
break. I was going over I was on my way to Cleveland. And then he says, can I take him on a quick ride? And she's like, okay, go with your father. She's like, but not
Yeah.
over any oceans. And I'm like, this
And
is
it's not like
insane.
the last time this happened, he disappeared for 3 months or anything, you know.
Right. And then, yeah, she screams, Scott, Scott, I said no oceans, Santa. And then that's the end.
Yeah. Then we get the shittiest CGI fucking sleigh you've ever seen disappearing into the fucking sky.
Oh, yeah, when the sleigh, either when it lands or takes off behind the house, that was another really
Yeah.
bad one where it looked like paper moving behind a house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, with that, as I said in the beginning, we take both of these movies through 10 rounds, score each movie on a scale of 1 to 10 per round, and we declare a winner at the end. I had to make very specific rounds for these movies because I just can't in good heart apply like, most skilled lead actor, best dramatic moment, shit like that just didn't feel right for this. So
Yeah.
they're incredibly specific. A couple of them are just reworded. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Opening round is round 1. Motherfucker. There's the button. Opening magic. You got the accidental manslaughter. Opening for the Santa Claus. Elf has the animated prologue. And the montage is about Buddy. Which one establishes its rules and vibe more confidently?
It's a hard. That's gonna be a hard one because I want to say one is done better than the other. I want to say, but one establishes the vibe a little better of the movie. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the Santa Claus very much establishes what we're getting into with like this kind of weird world of like rules and contracts and magic, like mixed with the real world. But the opening for Elf has so many fucking references that just like bring me back to my nostalgic youth and shit, and all the fucking stop animation characters and the snowman and
I think
just like all the
personally, I think Elf gets the gist of what's happening better because they show the montage of how he doesn't fit in and where he actually came from and everything. And for the most part, I do like the opening murder of Santa Claus, but
yeah.
how quickly they just accept it and like, okay, let's go deliver Christmas presents, and it's like 20 more minutes before they're talking about
Any of
what
the
happened
interesting
again. It's like Santa's dead.
yeah.
Let's do some Christmas shit, and then 20 minutes later, we're finally reconciling.
Yeah, whereas Elf is, yeah, you gotta get the whole quest like right off the bat and know
Yes.
what's coming and what's happening and all the players and where he's going and what he's doing. And like I said, just like the whole thing with like the animated characters, like, hey buddy, hey guys, yeah, I guess I'm leaving the North Pole forever. Like, and like just like fucking like banishing himself like a fucking Eskimo. Like it's
Right.
great.
And even when he's at the North Pole, it's showing how he doesn't fit in and clashes with like, he's going to clash with the real world, but he also clashes here. Yeah,
Yep.
I'd say like a 9 for Elf. And if they didn't have that massive gap where they're just accepting that he's Santa and like not his mind's not fucking blown by the fact that he's flying a sleigh.
Yeah, there should be more cognitive dissonance in what's going on here. Just like I would be freaking out like the entire fucking time. Like,
Right.
I might wake someone up for help just to make sure I'm not going insane. Like, okay, hey buddy, I know I'm in your house. Please don't shoot me. I need you to tell me what you're gonna see here, because if you don't see what I'm seeing, you need to call the cops and send me to a fucking mental hospital because something bad is happening.
The only thing I could justify it with is being a single divorced father and just desperately wanting to do anything to make your child happy. It would be why
Yeah.
he's like, okay, fine, I guess this is happening.
Either that or like the stress has got to him and he actually just thinks he's just like having a psychotic break.
Exactly. All right. So Elf taking round 1, taking us into round 2. No nonsense elf showdown. Basically, Bernard versus Papa Elf. They both played a. They kind of stood out in their North Pole
Mm.
world as like less jovial and like, Bernard's like the
More
sarcastic
serious.
corporate enforcer, and Papa Elf is like wore the fuck out and is just like fine.
His pelvis has been crushed so many times by
Right.
Buddy sitting on it. It's like, I know we're magic and regenerate, but it still fucking hurts.
Me personally, I like
Yeah.
Bernard better just because I love that actor. And like I said, he
Yeah,
reminded me
and
of Rufio when I was a kid because he's a
yeah,
teenager.
he's
So when
just
you're
got
a
it.
kid, you're like, he's the
He's
man.
super cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's just got this like kind of air of authority around him, and he's much more like critical to the plot than Papa Elf, where Papa Elf is just kind of the like bookend narrative like
Right.
thing, where it's just like I'm telling the story, and I'm telling the story at the end, and that's really all he's got out of it. But yeah, no, like I love his outfit, like the little like beret and like the fucking like neck, like it's like a. It
Yes.
seems like it's like a mark of authority is like a little bauble necklace that's so fucking cool. So I've never seen it this HD, and it was like really cool little prop, like
Yeah.
really like intricate and
It almost
handmade and
looks
stuff like
like a
that.
punk rock elf. Also, I just realized that if that child is 1,200 years old and he looks like a teenager, he must be like ancient.
Yeah, he's like 5,000. Like no wonder he's
Right.
so done with this shit.
Right. And I just love that actor too, personally. He's fucking hilarious. And I didn't realize
Yeah,
he was acting
yeah,
this early in life. But yeah, Bernard takes it
yeah.
for
No,
me for the I
yeah. Just
don't
the Neil trolling alone.
yes, dude, the fucking confetti poo for talking shit about the turkey.
I also love
Yeah,
too. It's just like it's like the elf thing where it's like when you go into a house, you're rewarded with food. It's like
right.
for the cobbler elves, like you're supposed to leave stuff out for them, and like Santa gets stuff. So he just assumes any food left out is just for him. Like he
It
goes
just
into a
it
house.
also made me happy to see that he's always been like the way he talks and everything. He's just always been the New York Jewish guy his entire life,
Yeah.
and his con is like, "Have you people never heard of basting?" I love him. So yeah, I'm thinking like 9-7 here, going to Santa Claus. The
Yeah,
Santa
because yeah,
Claus.
Papa Elf isn't bad. He's just kind of a non-character for the vast majority of the movie.
Right. I just love that they both had that element though, where there's one elf that's just like, okay, yeah, we live in Santa world. Who fucking cares?
I'm done with this shit, man. Even as I've heard fucking Santa Claus coming to town, if I shoot you one more time, killing everyone in the room, then myself.
So that one going to the Santa Claus, taking us into round 3, fish out of water. Basically, Scott Calvin adjusting to the burden of Santahood versus Buddy the Elf navigating the adult cynicism in New York City. Transformation arc versus innocence clash.
I mean, did Scott adjust or was he just overwritten?
Right. Yeah.
The entire time he's fighting against it until like it just like finally overtakes him and he just submits to it.
And we don't even know that he ever actually submits to it. I still firmly believe that somewhere in there, Scott's trying to fight to get out.
Yeah, he's just screaming. It's like, no, do you know how much those toys cost? How much money we can make? Oh!
Yeah, like I said, there's lots of parts of the Santa Claus where partially because of that, but even before he starts transforming, he's just like accepting shit really quickly.
Yeah, well, it's he accepts it and then also doesn't accept it. It's like, yes, this is happening, but the second it's not in front of him, he's like, yeah, no, that didn't happen, and just like trying
Right.
to like gaslight himself. And yeah, he doesn't really adjust. Whereas, I guess I don't know, Buddy, I guess doesn't really adjust either. It's more the world adjusts to him in a weird way. Uh,
100%.
but I think that's like Buddy's at least is heartwarming. Like the Santa Claus, when I put any thought into it, just becomes fucking horrifying. Like,
Yeah. I mean, as far as which one portrays the fish out of water vibe best, it's definitely Elf for me. Like, it's the
oh
entire
yeah,
goddamn movie.
hmm
There's like one scene
yeah,
where
no,
he's dressed normal and shit and trying, and then that's it. He snaps right back into his
yeah,
old suit, and Scott Calvin pretty quickly is flying a motherfucking sleigh with 0 questions.
yeah, just wearing fucking Santa clothes just without
Uh-huh.
being forced to or provoked. Yeah, it's just overriding his brain. That's terrifying. Said. Whereas Buddy is at least making decisions. He's like, oh, okay, like my dad wants to love me, so I want him to love me. I'll put on a suit. Whereas
Right.
just like cookies. Stop Stop it, kill
Yeah,
me.
I think Elf embodies fish out of water, so I'm going 10 for Elf and like a 6 for Santa Claus
Yeah.
for round 3.
Like I said, it's like, yeah, like I guess the fish out of water for him is just like when he's in the North Pole, but even then he's like, yeah, this isn't happening. This is all complex delusion.
The round 3 going to Elf, taking us into round
Mhm.
4. North Pole real estate. This one I like. Basically, which one had the better North Pole? You got the Santa Claus, you got the ELFs, you got the keypad entry, kind of corporate contract, militarized bureaucracy vibe, and then Elf is just literally storybook characters, singing elves, uh, just pretty much the North Pole as generically as you could
I
describe it.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something about the Elf North Pole that didn't hit it for me because it is trying to be a storybook because everything has these like brushstrokes on it.
Right.
But like, there was one specific thing that threw me out of it. I remember specifically what it was, but it's like there's a metal lamp that's like close to them at one point, and it's just like very obviously someone just took house paint and just went swoop on this fucking like lamp, and it's like, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I just love that the
Whereas
Santa Claus did like their own take on it. Like the fact that they have a
yeah, no, it's like
military
it's like
unit.
yeah, and it's like all like glass, stained glass, and like gems and gold and like vintage toy store kind of a look. It's a very interesting looking North Pole, like
Yeah.
because like
And that
normally it's
was
just like little cottages and villages and stuff, and that's yeah, that was a full set too. Like that wasn't fucking
right.
CGI
And that was
because like, I
almost
couldn't.
40 years ago now. And I liked it a lot better. As much as I love the Easter egg inclusion of the claymation Santa characters, um,
Yeah,
I just, like I
those are in
said,
such a
other than
small
that,
part
it
though.
was just like if you put the North
Generic.
Pole into Chat
Yeah,
GPT, probably what it would spit out. Um,
exactly. Yeah, it was like pure white basically the entire place, and like not much color. Whereas yeah, the Santa Claus thing, like I could probably stare at some of those stills for like fucking like an hour and like see things I haven't seen before.
yes. Yeah. So yeah, I'm giving a 10 to Santa Claus here just because I really liked
Yeah.
the whole vibe
No,
of
like,
it.
I used to like rewind that part when I was a kid just because I thought the place looked so cool and I wanted to like see more of it and
Right.
like get on that little fucking train and shit. Yeah.
And I always loved that there's an actual pole that comes out of the ground.
Yes.
Like, he even goes,
Yeah,
the
and even that
North
looks good.
Pole,
It's
are
like
you kidding me?
and it's like a crystal on the top and it's like really pretty and there's like that like kind of like choir chorus going on and
Well, because of
gives a
that,
sense of kind of weight and mysticism.
every time I saw a barber shop pole, I was like, it's the North Pole when I was little.
Yeah. No, that's just a representation of the clean and bloody rags that barbers used to have outside their shop, twirling in the wind.
That takes us into round 5. Sneaky grown-up humor. Which movie has the best adult jokes hidden inside of a family movie? You've got a fuckload to work with in the Santa Claus. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, and just the
Peter
opening
Dinklage's
secretary
entire
scene,
existence
fucking
is
naked. Yeah, just yeah, bourbon, finding loose women.
that.
Yeah, there's so many
Yes,
fucking things in there that
that
just I
part
didn't
I
catch like the
loved.
fucking first couple of times through.
Yeah, a couple of the ones in Elf just made me depressed though, like the fucking unalive attempt on the bridge that I never picked up on when I was younger.
Yeah, no, and also just like the kind of the little person bashing, which like I get the joke, but it's just like, oh, it made me feel a little awkward, like watching that and laughing at it
Right.
because you know. Well, also there's the whole thing of Peter Dinklage too, of like kind of pulling up the ladder behind him with little people acting and shit. So
True. I didn't even think about that, but
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I don't other than like the lingerie
yeah.
and shit, and I don't feel like they even really tried to sneak that many adult jokes into the Elf,
Yeah, no,
which
it's like the Zoe Deschanel being naked, I guess, a little bit, but
sure, yeah.
yeah, I
But
can't really
Tim
think
Allen was built
much
for
beyond
that.
that.
Like
Yes, sliding in those fucking adult jokes into children's content is basically what he does.
which I said when we
And
picked
apparently,
this
that's also
movie,
just
I feel like he should have been in a lot more adult comedies, and then once they started putting him
yeah.
in them, they were corny as fuck, like Wild Hogs and shit.
Well,
He
yeah,
should have
I
been
think the
like
problem
Billy
was like
Bob.
it must have been like because I don't know why Disney hired him because I know they have a rule against like no felonies for their actors, but they broke for him
Oh
apparently. But
yeah. One of the most famous 90s fellas.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, and I'm guessing it was just an attempt to like rehabilitate his image. It's like, no, I'm a kid friendly family man,
Right.
hey, and like not be a fucking like cokehead felon anymore. But and then yeah, I guess maybe once he got back to the real shit, he just had been in that zone for too long to
Right.
keep fucking acting well.
Chewed up and washed
I don't
out,
know.
yeah. But yeah, for
Yep.
this specific category, I would go like a 9 Santa Claus and like a 6-ish for Elf.
Yeah, because like there's like a handful in Elf, but it's really much more pure and innocent of a movie compared to Santa Claus.
Right.
Like it doesn't have
Um,
that cynical edge to it.
that takes us into round 6. Supporting cast. Who is the deeper bench? Um, so Santa Claus, you've got Bernard. I can't remember his name right now. Judge Reinhold, is that who plays Neil?
Yep.
Carol, I don't even really know that I've seen that actress in anything else. Um,
Yeah, no. Like maybe
I
like
think
some like other stuff in the '90s, but I don't think she had much of a career past that.
not a super lot. I love Judge Reinhold. I love him in Beverly Hills Cop and
Oh yeah,
everything. That's pretty
my
much it,
name is
honestly.
Judge.
him and Bernard,
Yeah,
the teacher, that was another one. But I mean, Elf is fucking packed
yep.
full of them. You got Matt
Oh yeah,
Walsh, Artie Lang, Peter Dinklage, fucking Zoe Deschanel, James Caan, the mom from
yeah,
Step Brothers. Like, it's a lot.
yeah. I don't know. I think the cast in Elf does more. I think
Oh yeah,
uh like the Santa Claus like is basically hinged off of Tim Allen's performance and the kids. Like
yeah.
everyone else is just kind of there to support the narrative. Like
And
worried
Neil
mom, like
is
over.
kind of the
Yeah, yeah,
antagonist of the movie, but beyond them, the main four, yeah, it doesn't really exist outside of them. Oh, and
yeah.
fucking
Like we don't know his
Ralphie
classmate's
being an
name.
elf alone. That's a Christmas cameo in a
Yep.
Christmas movie. um,
Yeah, no, I think like, just because they had the deeper bench and there was definitely much more connective tissue between the characters, and all the characters kind of get a chance to do something.
right,
Like Jovi's doing something at the end, his brother's doing something, his father's doing something, his mom's doing something. I mean, we even cut back to like the cast of like at the fucking at the North Pole in the toy store there, like they're cheering him on when things are going on. Where it's
right.
yeah, really, it's really just like Tim Allen chewing the scenery and the Santa Claus
Which I
is
don't
like really the
necessarily
whole
fault them for, but for this category
yeah
specifically, definitely. And
yeah
I love Artie Lang in this movie as the angry Santa too.
yes
So yeah, I gotta go like 9-3 here in favor of
mm-hmm
Elf. Sorry. Yeah, there's just from a logistical standpoint, no way that can go to Santa Claus.
yes
This one may split us, but round 7. Holiday vibes. Which one feels more like Christmas to you? Cozy 90s Disney glow and suburban nostalgia? Or hyper-saturated modern Christmas maximalism?
yeah. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm personally on the Santa Claus
Oh,
train
cool. Me
here
too.
because
100%.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, because Elf is cool, but it deviates like from Christmas quite a bit, where it's like when we're at the business and like when the family's trying to get together and like I know it's there, but like it's someone who's obsessed with it and other people are kind of just like about it. Whereas the Santa Claus, like regardless of what is happening, everyone is Christmasing the fuck out. Like
Right. Well, another thing I thought
like
about,
their
I think
kid
you
is
pointed this
kidnapped and
out
they're
in
still
the
fucking decorating.
Halloween Town episode, I think you pointed this out, or maybe I saw this online. But to save energy over the course of the 90s to now, I saw a thing that said if you feel like life literally looks more blue, it's real because the switch to LED lights has given everything a blue hue, where back in the 90s it was like a warm yellow everywhere, which
Yep.
is like honestly bottom line what I feel when I watch these movies. Like the brief parts you're seeing the
Yeah.
towns and homes and everything, it just feels, and I was a child when this movie came out, so I'm sure there's a
Yeah. It's just
generation
homey.
of
LED lovers.
Gen Z kids that would totally argue with me, but
Yeah. No, but like yeah, all the light bulbs in my house are orange. Like fuck those white lights. Fucking hurts
right,
my eyes.
yeah, no argument for me here. I thought you might go Elf,
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
no, Elf is a fine, fun movie, but like every inch of Santa Claus is suffused with Christmas. Like it's not necessarily the better movie. I don't know if I'd say that, but it is the more Christmassy movie of the two.
yeah. Agreed. So that one I'm going like 9-4 here. I think also the fact that so much of
Yeah.
it is in New York City in Elf makes it feel
Yeah.
like super corporate. Um, but
Mm-hmm. It's
who
just like a bunch
knows?
of big
Like I
stone
said,
buildings.
Gen Z kids may completely disagree. I don't know. So round 7 going to the Santa Claus, taking us into round 8. Belief and magic rules. Which movie explains Santa magic better? Got the contracts and everything, and the Santa Claus, and they kind of both share the same Christmas spirit thing, but Elf
Yeah.
like takes that and fucking makes it like tangible with the meter and the engine and everything.
Yes.
Santa Claus,
And
everybody
his
kind of
elf
dies
powers.
apparently if there's no Christmas spirit.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know. The Santa Claus magic's a little vague too, because like they also have like technology incorporated into the magic, where like they've tried to update with the times, like I guess the sleigh is technological in both of them. And well, I guess they kind of do that. Like I said, they're
At the
building in like
very end
graphics
of
cards
Santa
and shit.
Claus, yeah, they're like, we added a fucking cookie in the CD player is a thing that
Yeah,
distributes cookies and the hot chocolate dispenser, which is
and Coco,
awesome when you're
yeah,
little.
and he has like he has like a fucking plane radar and shit now, and
Yeah. For me, I feel like they at least attempt to explain almost every single factor of the mythos of the Santa Claus, where
yeah,
I don't see like I'm really getting like logistical here, but in Elf, like they explain
yeah,
the Christmas spirit thing and how it powers a sleigh. They don't
yeah. And it's
explain
not working
why they're
anymore, so there's
like
a jet engine.
immortal, why they have like superpowers that give them super speed and super strength and everything like this. Um,
Yeah,
which in Santa Claus they basically say Christmas spirit makes them alive and immortal and all powerful.
yes. Whereas,
um,
yeah, I don't know really. Like really, all Christmas magic seems to do in the Santa Claus, or not Santa Claus, and an elf is just power the sleigh. Like beyond
right.
that, they're fine.
Yeah, I definitely like the mythos better in the Santa Claus. Like they developed a whole universe around this type of like there's lore here.
Yes, yeah, 3 movies and a TV show, so there's lore. There's deep
Yeah.
lore.
Where Elf kind of touched on it, but you know, the
Yeah,
whole
it's more
thing
focused
was
on the interpersonal connections than the
yeah,
magic of Christmas.
right. So yeah, unless you have any disagreements, that one would also go to the Santa
Yeah,
Claus to me.
yeah, I think yeah, that's it to me too. Yeah, I just like the universe a little better. Like I'd say, like it's probably a funnier, more entertaining movie, but for just like the cohesiveness of the world, I think the Santa Claus hits a little deeper.
Yeah, I do think they played it to death by making all those sequels that I may have watched, but I don't recall at all. But round nine is kid versus adult appeal. Which movie grows with you? What you loved as a kid versus what hits harder as an adult. Does the movie deepen over time or flatten out? Nostalgia versus longevity. So I
I
think
mean,
basically, how old were you when Elf came out?
14, 13, 14, something like that.
I think. Did we
Nine
say
two
that at
thousand
the top?
three. So
1994 was the Santa Claus. 2003 was
yeah,
Elf. So I would have been
yeah,
11 when it came out. So I was right
yeah. I
at the
think it was.
right age to see both when I was young enough to give a shit about these kinds of movies.
Yeah, I think I might have been veering a little too old when Elf came out. Like just like
Right.
it's for babies, and just like trying to like pretend my balls had dropped at that point. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird because as an adult, both these movies are very different.
Right.
I do get like some like warm like nostalgia and like a bit of like hope and happiness from Elf. Just going back to the Santa Claus is horrifying, like in a weird way. Like there's things that I didn't like think about when I was a kid. That it's like, oh god, no, that's actually bad.
Yeah, I'm
Whereas like
kind
at
of
the
on
end
the
of like
fence here.
yeah, well, at the end of Elf, like I like teared up a little bit when everyone's singing and like like the family's all back together and it's like one little like oh nostalgic tear and just all through the Santa Claus was like he is not himself anymore and I don't know if like he should be alone with this kid anymore because that is a different man than the father that raised him.
Yeah, I have much different reasons for why I like both. I mean, I love the nostalgia that it made me feel watching the Santa Claus. Um, and I appreciate Tim Allen more as an adult. His jokes in this movie were killer. But same thing
Yeah,
kind of with Will Ferrell. I don't remember feeling any nostalgia for Elf, especially when I was younger.
no,
But I like Will Ferrell and I can appreciate him in this movie more as I get older when I kind of hated him in this movie when I was younger.
yeah, no. It's like honestly at this point, if I was gonna like probably watch another one again, I think I'd go Elf first, just because like there's a little more hope and happiness in it for the holiday season, whereas the Santa Claus is fucking depressing sometimes. And not to just like beyond all the fucking like fucking Cthulhu existentialism of having your fucking memory and body and fucking hopes and dreams overwritten. But just like there's like a lot of fucking like fractured family and shit like that and sad kids and it's just like fucking like parents worried about the mental health of their child. And it's like this is kind of bumming me out a little bit.
Yeah, didn't necessarily get bummed out until he was crying, saying goodbye to him. But yeah, for me, it's a kind of a tie here, I guess, as far as how they've aged. They both kind of aged exactly the same to me. um,
Yeah,
because the next round's
I'm on
basically
the
which one
side
do you
elf.
want to watch again?
Yeah.
But as far as
I just think
neither one really deepened or flattened out to me over time. They both kind of did the same
nah,
thing.
like I said, I saw some angles that I didn't really think about before. Like, and yet again, most of them are just like, what if we didn't see the fucking fantasy aspect of this and just took it to the face value of like the straight characters, just like fucking like seeing this without any other context. It's like, oh god, these are both horror movies. But
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
I think
I'm kind of on a tie on
I'm
this
on the
one.
fence. I'm kind of leaning slightly towards more elf. But if you want to do a tie, we can do tie. But I'm like
Okay.
not enough that I'm going to argue it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're going to tie on the next one too from the sounds of it, but
Yeah.
because round 10 is as always final verdict gut check. No stats, no logic, one survives. Which movie is Christmas to you? Which one would you defend in a room full of skeptics?
Okay, which movie is more Christmas to me and which is the better movie are two very different questions.
Well, that's
Because
what I'm saying.
what movie
It's
is more?
not which one's
Yeah,
better to you. It's just gut check. Which one do you
yeah,
like
no,
better?
and to me, like it's just like I see the Santa Claus and just like immediately get taken back to like being 6 and like running downstairs on Christmas Eve and all or Christmas morning, all the presents are around and my parents put the little boot prints going from the chimney to the thing and it
Right.
just takes you back to that. Whereas Elf, I guess maybe it's just I don't have the nostalgia for it because I was like that bit older and I'm just like, oh, this is
Sure.
baby stuff now. So I maybe like watched it once or twice in passing, but I didn't like put a ritual around it like I did the Santa Claus, which is
Right.
like we're gonna watch the Santa Claus get Christmas. So yeah, I think just pure gut check. Even though I believe that Elf is the better crafted, better made
Oh,
movie,
100% it is
the
just on cast alone.
yeah,
But,
exactly, yeah,
and John
just
Favreau can't
purely
miss, but
yeah, just purely based on nostalgia and fucking rose-colored glasses, just the Santa Claus to me.
yeah, I'm on the same page. But I just realized another thing that might have struck home with me in this movie, along with the other divorced parents elements of it, is I was 2 years old when this movie came out, and that was right around the time my mom left and I'm living with my dad who is a single father now. So I think a lot of
Yeah,
elements
so
of
you're
the single father. But beyond that, same things I said earlier, just like the general feel and vibe of it. And Elf kind of just stresses me out at a lot of parts where he's
yeah,
just like just crashing like real world scenarios because he's insane.
yeah,
And the maple
yeah, just
syrup
like
and
the
destroying their home.
and yeah, and then the unintentional bigotry towards little people and
Right.
the attempted unaliving, and yeah, just like, oh, this is a little darker than I remember it, a little sadder.
The fact that he made it out on the other side of this, the same person, is shocking to me. With that bridge
Yeah, just
scene that I
completely
never
unchanged.
caught
It's like
somehow.
everything worked out. It's fine.
He was thinking about being, I don't fit in anywhere, and then just snaps out of it like, nope,
Yeah.
still enough.
Nope, I can fix an engine. We're fine.
So yeah, no, I'm on the same page as you here with Santa Claus. I never felt a huge attachment to Elf, which is,
Yeah, it's a
I
fine
know I'm
movie.
in the minority
Yeah,
though. I know when Jess finds out
yeah.
which one won because she's never even seen the Santa Claus somehow, and
Uh,
we're the same age, like within a
yeah,
year.
that there's no goddamn excuse. That she should
No,
have seen that just by osmosis of the Disney Channel at some point. Like,
right? Yeah, I don't know how she hasn't seen that, but yeah, round 10 we agreed on going to Santa Claus. And with the tied round, makes the final score here 6-3 going to the Santa Claus. Did they ever make a
hmm
sequel to Elf?
I don't think so. No,
Oh, you know what?
I mean, I
I
guess.
know why I thought that. That's one of the facts coming up here shortly. But
Nah.
that might be the best thing they did is not make a sequel after seeing what happened to the Santa Claus franchise, dude.
Yeah, sometimes we made a good thing. Just let it be.
But with that, after every episode, we like to leave you with some Easter eggs and trivia. I will be
Yes.
doing Elf from our red corner, and then Nick will be doing the green corner. The scene where Buddy eats assorted candies and pastries with spaghetti noodles had to be shot twice because Will Ferrell vomited the first time. Several
Yeah,
minor
fair.
traffic accidents happened. when Will Ferrell walked through the Lincoln Tunnel in his elf costume because drivers were so distracted. He has a lot of issues with
That's not fair.
performing on streets and causing problems within the community. With this in old
He's a
school.
little chaos gremlin.
Will Ferrell reportedly turned down $29 million to star in an Elf sequel in late 2014. James Caan explained this partly came down to Farrell's relationship with Jon Favreau, which I didn't know that they had beef. But,
I mean, it seems like two very nice people to be having beef, but
right?
all right.
Whatever. I'm glad it didn't happen. Also, why is James Caan being a chatty Cathy? Wanda Sykes was originally cast as the Gimbals manager, but backed out at the last minute. And Faison Love kept her name tag in the film, which is why it still says Wanda. I didn't even read this beforehand, so I didn't know there was an explanation to why his name tag says Wanda.
There we go.
John Favreau wrote the department store Santa line about sitting on a throne of lies as a Lord of the Rings reference, which is funny. I know he's a huge Star Wars nerd, so that makes sense.
Yes. All right. In the green corner, we have the Santa Claus. When Scott is in denial, he wears black Converse shoes, but later wears red Converse shoes once he really embraces being Santa, which we know is just Santa taking over his mind. The visual shift suddenly marks his transformation. The dance Tim Allen, Eric Lloyd, and David Krumholtz and Paige Demata and the others elves do the ZZ Top's Give Me All Your Lovin' was improvised in one take, and the director kept it because it was so good. It was Tim Allen's first film leading role.
That was crazy.
An older release of the film, Tim Allen delivered a sarcastic line including 1-800-SPANK ME, which led to parents calling the number and being hit with actual phone bills. Disney eventually brought it and disconnected it for future releases. When Scott and Charlie arrive at the North Pole for the first time, an elf types 1239 into a security pad, and we note this is intentionally tied to the Red Noses reindeer lore 1239, rate of December creation date. One of the children in Charlie's class on Parents' Day, is an elf with pointed ears who doesn't laugh, and Charlie claims his dad is Santa, steadily hinting the North Pole world is just everywhere, and they are just spying on us constantly.
I love that shit, though. I love when because they don't harp on it at all. Like, I didn't know that until you said something.
Never focused on, they don't show it yet. It's just like one of those things you got to pay attention to, and I respect it when movies do that.
I love that the same guy made
like
Jungle to Jungle, but had the wherewithal to just come up with this like Santa cartel lore that they're fucking everywhere, man. I think he might have some like dark views on Christmas if this is what he did with it. Like, what if Santa didn't want to be Santa and was forced to against his will, and there's a murder plot? And
it's like you said, watching this as an adult is very different than watching as a kid, and my brain was just going to dark conspiracy theories everywhere. How many elves are there? Are they among us right now?
I still don't know how I managed to do this.
Civilization?
But I don't think I've seen this since I was like 9 years old, so it was kind of nice. I don't really like Tim Allen, to be honest with you, so I was expecting to be like, God, I fucking hate Tim Allen. I was like, by the end of this, like, man, he really had a golden era and just fucked it all up.
Yep. Well, yeah, then he opened his mouth and spat out his opinions, and we're like, oh, shit, one of those. Cool. All right.
But,
yes.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody, again. If we get enough suggestions, we might change the episode, but you don't have much time, especially depending on when I finish editing this. But,
so get those in early. If we get a good one, you might get to dictate our direction for the next episode. So you have that power.
Big baby. You gotta really get in there immediately. But thanks for tuning in again. Please follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Like and download on Spotify and Apple. And thanks for tuning in, everybody, and Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.